Tell me when that shows up on the YouTube. Showing up now. What's up and what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another live stream. Just for everybody that does not know, we're going to give people some time to get in here. We will be going live every Sunday now. Every Sunday we are going to live stream, and we are going to go over, the news and everything for the week, everything like that with you guys. Again, we appreciate everybody that is always here with us, that gives us the views and the interacts with us like the way you guys do. We really appreciate it. So we have a few different topics here we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about DC's 10-year plan. We're going to discuss that. David Zaslav, Warner Brothers, they did their earners meeting earlier this week, and a lot of things came out about that. So we're going to discuss that with you guys. We're also going to talk about Eternals 2 being confirmed, well, seemingly confirmed by Patton Oswalt on the Today Show. We're going to talk about Moonknight Season 2 possibly being confirmed also by Oscar Isaac via TikTok. And we're also going to react to the Andor trailer number 2, and we're going to watch a She-Hulk TV spot. And at the very end of this, if everybody is still here with us, we are going to do a Phase 4 tier list and just kind of rank some of the things from Phase 4, what we think is some of the best, what we think is some of the worst. And then you guys can chime in there in the live chat. Again, we appreciate you guys. Please interact with us on that live chat. If you guys have any questions, you have anything you want to say, go ahead and you can put that in the live chat, and we'll discuss that with you guys. It does not have to be on topic at all. If it is anything that you guys want to talk about, it can be in there. We will get to those some of those comments and things toward the end of the stream there. But again, we're going to let some people get in before we exactly go on to reacting to She-Hulk. Let's see. To reacting to She-Hulk there.
This came out yesterday?
This TV spot came out. I don't know. It never says it on the thing here. On the phone it does, but on that it never says when something came out. Again, we're gonna let.
It said like 23 hours ago.
Okay, we're gonna keep let a few more people get in here. Then, like I said, we'll move on to that reaction there. One thing that I want to talk about that I didn't mention was Giancarlo Esposito did I'm not exactly sure where he was when he was talking, but he was talking about Doctor Doom, or not Doctor Doom, I'm sorry, Magneto. And Professor
X.
He
said he wants to play Professor X.
He wants to play Professor X.
I don't really care who he plays.
Yeah, I don't really care who Giancarlo plays either. He's such a great actor.
That's a goat right there.
I think one thing though, and this is a roundtable discussion I want to do. I want to ask everybody what they think about, some of the race swapping of iconic comic book characters like Professor X. How would people take having Giancarlo play? I mean, I don't care, and a lot of people probably wouldn't care because he is such a good actor. But at the same time, there's a part of me that's still like, man, Professor X is one of those. I'm not for changing iconic or changing any character's race. As I've said before, make a new character.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that.
But he really would be a good Professor X.
I don't know. Sometimes it just depends to me. Like, Professor X being white has like no historical value to his character or anything to me. Like, I think that I know of. Like, T'Challa being black, his purpose has like actual black history.
Oh yeah, no, there's no cultural significance to Professor X at all. But with Magneto there is, and I'd seen someone say, because we just got that from Johnny, that said he wanted Denzel Washington as Magneto. I've seen a lot of people saying that they would like to have Denzel in there too as a villain or whatever. And I saw someone say that instead of it being the Holocaust that he deals with, if they were to race swap him, instead of it being the Holocaust that he deals with, it could be something like. And then again, I don't know how I feel about that. But they were like saying how it could be. During Jim Crow days or something like that, and I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Johnny Washington said he'd be a perfect Professor X, and I want Denzel. Yep, Denzel Washington is me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read that.
Yeah, but we'll go ahead and jump into She-Hulk here. We'll jump into the She-Hulk reaction. Let's see. All right. We'll jump into the She-Hulk reaction and then talk about that with you guys and see what you guys are thinking about this new TV spot and get you guys' excitement level on where She-Hulk is and when that's coming out. I do know Andor got pushed back, and we'll talk about that too with it being... Well, She-Hulk, I believe, got pushed back, not Andor. But we'll see. Let's get into this TV spot here. Sorry.
You like it or not, you're now a superhero. Very good. Just trying to show you.
No,
It's done.
I'm shown. I did not go to law school to become a vigilante.
Always known for Sunny French. All the prisoners.
All right, let's do this.
Who the hell are you?
That name's on the
She-Hulk, attorney at law, only on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I've been saying it. They do those TV spots. They do so many of those damn TV spots before they release something.
No, they really do. It's hard to keep up with them.
It is. There's so many of them. And I really don't like watching them that many. I felt like with Doctor Strange, we watched so many of them. It just, like, when I went into Doctor Strange, I was not
Yeah,
shocked.
no,
about.
I watched half of Doctor Strange before I watched Doctor Strange. Like it was just so much of it was just so giving into what the actual film was. But I don't know, with this, they, like I said before we even started filming, like what they've given us hasn't really showed too much in my opinion. Like
No.
all we know is that we're gonna get, but we already knew we were gonna get Daredevil. We didn't know we were gonna get Wong or anything, but we knew we were getting Daredevil. Kevin Feige said himself that this show is like the perfect opportunity to, you don't know what Marvel character is gonna be in there.
Right.
So I mean, we kind of already knew there were going to be some cameos in the show and everything, but they haven't really showed too much of the storyline or anything.
No, they haven't shown a lot of the story line. They did change, how she gets her powers a little bit. I mean, it's still the blood transfusion, but how it happens is a little different. As I've said from day one, this show looks like it's really going to be fun. It's one of the most things I'm ready for, left in Phase 4.
No, there's so much potential in it. Like, for the future, too, the MCU just started this will be really the first time we see Daredevil in the MCU and everything. It'll be opportunity to progress Hulk's story finally. Opportunity to start She-Hulk's story, and just so much in it because you go back with Abomination and everything. So one thing I want to see is like an MCU version of Hulk and Abomination fighting or something.
Right.
How we had in the old movie or whatever, but...
Well, yeah, it's like I keep saying, too. Whatever they do with Hulk at the end of this, and some of the rumors that we've heard, we kind of think that it's going to be back to Savage Hulk, but I hope that that's exactly what it is. It absolutely has to go back to seeing him as Savage Hulk. I can't do any more of the Professor Hulk. Yoga Hulk. I'm trying to get to World War Hulk, and I think Mark Ruffalo honestly deserves that. He hasn't had his solo film. He hasn't gotten to have one, and I think that would be an amazing solo film for him to be a part of, to have his first, Hulk film, and just wreck shit as Hulk. I think that would be such a good movie.
That's not even just one movie, too. Like, that's like a trilogy for him, in my opinion. You can give that whole storyline throughout 3 movies.
Right.
Just because there'd be no need to rush it all into one movie and then make some mistake, probably, of killing someone off that you shouldn't or something, or not doing what you... So that story just deserves... He should get his trilogy just like every other main Avenger character has.
Yeah, and like I said, I think Mark Ruffalo definitely would... I know he's talked about how he would love to do something like that. Kind of like when Elizabeth Olsen was talking about how she would love to do the Scarlet Witch, and they, gave it to her. And I think Kevin Feige, Marvel, they know what fans want. They know that they see those things. They have the PR team that's out there on social media spaces like Twitter that are seeing like, hey, the fans are wanting this, the fans are wanting that. Like, even when people were begging for more Toby and Andrew, Sony outright tweeted like, yeah, we see it. We see what you guys are saying. Like, we know that you guys want more.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like they see these things. They know what the fans are wanting, and the fans are wanting to get rid of Professor Hulk. We want to get rid of Professor Hulk. We want Savage Hulk back in here. Or, I mean, even if it's not Savage Hulk, if it's like the Maestro or something that, I'm good with that, because Maestro was super still in control of his faculties.
He's Professor Hulk, but more so Hulk.
Yeah, but still Hulk. Like, I'd be cool with Maestro or something like that. What's going on, Cooper? We appreciate you guys, the Cooper Broom. We appreciate you guys being here with us. Johnny, yes, I agree too. Like, Professor Hulk is just not it, bro. It's just, it's not it at all. So
I'm not even sure if the kids really appeal to him. Like,
no, like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
if I was a kid, I'd rather see the big green niggas.
I feel sorry for
shit.
these kids, this generation. Our generation, we grew up getting to see Hulk be rageful, Hulk be savage, Hulk be this, Hulk be that. I don't know how many kids now are reading comic books, but if there are little kids reading comic books, that's the only way you're getting a savage Hulk, because on screen this generation hasn't gotten one. They only, unless they go back and watch the 2008 Incredible Hulk film that is canon, then sure, then you got him there, and then you got him in the handful of stuff you got him in the MCU. But it's just the impact too, that, and not just the impact, him being such a legacy iconic character in Marvel, and to take him and downgrade him, that is I've seen that meme so many times. The biggest downgrade in Marvel is literally taking Hulk and just making him what they've made him. So
I mean, yeah, no, literally after Infinity War, I mean, nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
literally nothing. Like in the first Avengers movie, that shit, I don't know who wrote that. Because that's when he was really written the best. Or even that first scene in the beginning of Civil War.
Josh Whedon.
Or no, the first scene in Ultron.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, no, like I said, that first scene in Ultron when they're a team and they're coming out, that is probably
Yes.
one of the best openings to. I also think Endgame's opening is one of the best openings, but one of the best openings to a Marvel film because, like, you see the team, and that's something for me, and we'll get into that when we do the tier list for Phase 4. But that's something for me that is just so missing, and we've talked about this missing in Phase 4. That's why when I went back and watched Age of Ultron the other day, I was like, man, I miss the team. I miss seeing like how they are all interacting together, like Cap and Thor hitting Cap's shield and then blast and sending an energy blast to the soldiers. I'm like, bro, that's like, I miss that. I want to, and I know we're gonna get that with like hopefully the new Avengers team that's coming up with She-Hulk and everybody else like that. But man, it's just missing in the MCU right now, and that's, I think that's what's it's just a drag.
There's got to be something in this that happens to She-Hulk or something that pisses him off and just sends him off or some shit. Because
I just don't see them keeping it.
I was gonna say, I
Man,
don't see
and if
any
they
way
do,
it can progress him. Just keep us interested in him as a character with the Professor Hulk or anything. It's just not appealing.
right.
Johnny Washington said Ragnarok was the last real Hulk. I think so.
Yeah.
Right before he got his ass kicked, the copper broom. Savage Hulk is way more interesting and funny than Professor Hulk. I agree.
Yeah.
Because he's like, not to be rude or anything, I mean, he's not real, but he's a dumbass. Like, when he's just Savage Hulk or whatever, so he's kind of just not really giving much thought to anything. He's kind of just...
It's just boring. Like, I mean, you think about the scene in Endgame when they went back in time and Captain America said Hulk smashed things, and he's like, I think it's gratuitous, but whatever. I'm just like, bro, that's so boring. That is so boring. I'm like, that is so boring. Like, nobody wants to see that. We want to see that Hulk smashing shit. We want to see Hulk like when Natasha pushed him in Age of Ultron. She's like, I'm sorry, but I need the other guy. It's like, was that an Age of Ultron? Yeah, that was an Age of Ultron. I'm like, bro, that's the Hulk we want. Because if she would have pushed him down, he would have go, oh, Natasha, why'd you push me for? Like, nobody wants to see that shit. Like, that's not Hulk. So I know She-Hulk is going to be a fun show. I think it's really going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to She-Hulk. So, but that's that for She-Hulk, and we'll move on from there. Moving on from She-Hulk, we're going to move right on into the Andor trailer. So for those of you that don't know, I personally and Trey and some of the other co-hosts on the show are, and you guys are going to meet some of the other co-hosts that we've got. We've got actually, and just to get into that, I'm going to segue really quick. We got some big things coming over on the channel for people that are watching and people that are regular viewers, and hopefully for some new viewers that might see this and like what they see and become a subscriber. We got some big things coming. We have some more co-hosts coming in, so it's not just going to be the three of us. We will have 5 co-hosts total. And in that 5 co-hosts, they will be, we'll rotate. We'll have some in here on some days, but not only that, we'll also have guests come in. And with those guests, we'll do like roundtable discussions. And in those roundtable discussions, will be things like what we were just discussing, but in a wider conversation. Like, what do you think about race swapping in the MCU? Or is the Dark Knight better than the Batman? Or is the Batman better than Dark Knight? Or just different roundtable discussions. What is wrong with the current state of the MCU? Things like that. So we're going to do roundtable discussions. We're going to have times where I'm not here. It might be times where, because we have, I'm not a D&D fan, but I do have co-hosts that are D&D fans, and they want to discuss the movie when it does come out. And when the second trailer comes out, obviously they're going to want to react to that and discuss that with you guys, for those of you that are D&D fans. So there's going to be times that I'm here. There's going to be times that someone else is in this chair or whatever's going on. And we just want to make the experience that you guys, for the viewers, we want to make tuning in for you guys much more engaging. We want to make you guys want to be here. We want to make you guys actually like what you're viewing. So if there's any suggestions that you guys have for to improve the quality of what you guys are watching, or to improve the experience for you guys, just let us know, and we will definitely put all things into consideration over here at Blend Fanatics. And again, we appreciate you guys. So let's move on into that Andor trailer. Again, massive Star Wars fan here. I know Star Wars better than, like I've said so many times, American history. Star Wars, for me, I got introduced to Star Wars when I was in 2nd grade, and I did not want to go at all. It was a birthday party. Me and my brother were going, and it was a friend's party, and it was like Star Wars themed, and I was like, I don't want to go. My brother said he didn't want to go. Well, lo and behold, long story short, I came out a Star Wars fan. He definitely stayed the same, but I came out a Star Wars fan, and I adore Star Wars. I think that it is, before Disney, it's untouchable. So we'll move on into Andor here. We'll watch that, and then we'll discuss that with you guys.
I'm waiting to see something that's like, that looks so good that I want to watch, and it makes me go back and rewatch everything so that I understand everything.
Yeah. See, Andor's one where, like I said, we'll watch the series. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Q's not he's not a Star Wars fan. He hasn't started the journey to Star Wars to try to, whatever. So we're going to try to watch Andor. He's going to react to Andor with us, and then we're going to go over that. Rogue One. This happens before Rogue One, and Rogue One, in my opinion, is the absolute best movie Disney has done with Star Wars, and that's me giving them a lot of praise, because everything else they've done with Star Wars outside the Mandalorian is shit. And I'm not even giving them season 7 of Clone Wars, because that's Dave and John. But let's watch this. I haven't seen this. I've been waiting to see this. The dope Star Destroyer look.
To steal from the Empire. You just walk in like you belong. They're so proud of themselves. So fat and satisfied. They can't imagine that someone like me would ever get inside their house.
Are they saying that?
The little yellow alert thing just went away,
Is choking us so slowly.
but it's saying the buy trade is higher than the recommended. So,
What I'm asking is this. Wouldn't you rather give it all to something real? I need all the heroes I can get. For the greater good.
Oh, Saw's in it? I figured he'd have to be. The graphics, the CGI rather, looks so much better than they have been looking on past shit.
You're in my net. Are you a fish? Or are you a thief? You're slipping.
I'm not slipping. I've just been hiding for too long.
Looks better.
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
This is what evolution looks like.
I'm tired of losing.
Okay.
ADCTW said the trailer looks kind of Game of Thrones boring.
Yeah, okay, again, as a massive Star Wars fan here, that, and especially with the pushback here that they've done, so I'm about to get real super nerdy here. With the pushback that they've done with Andor, why they pushed this back, I'm not sure. And also why they're doing 3 episodes now instead of the 2 episodes, because we're getting 3 episodes the day that it premieres. It didn't do it for me. I like the first trailer so much more than this trailer. This trailer didn't do it. But I do like the time period that we are in currently. Obviously, you know, anything that is the rise of the Empire for me, I love, just because I'm a huge Palpatine fan, and seeing getting to see Palp. Well, if we get to see him, I know that Ian McDermott did say that there's upcoming projects that he has done things for that might have his presence, might have his voice, but you may not see him, like the cameo we got of seeing him in Obi-Wan. We saw him talking to Vader. So knowing that the Emperor's hand is in all of this, and knowing that this is leading into Rogue One, and getting to see not just the rise of the Empire, but the start of the rebellion, getting to see how the rebellion was formed, and how they decided to stand up to the tyranny of the Empire. So I'm really I'm interested in the show. This trailer definitely was not good to me. It was kind of lackluster for me, but the VFX effects, the effects look better than they have looked in like Boba Fett and Obi-Wan, because the effects when Vader grabbed that ship in Obi-Wan, that shit looked like some circa 2008 video game stuff. Like, it looked really bad. So I'm hoping that they really bring it with this.
Why is everything with Disney's fucking CGI just getting worse?
Yeah, it's the VFX team, man. They're being overworked, and people are just saying that it's not just Marvel. That's the thing. It's not
That's
just
what I was
Marvel.
saying, Disney. Like,
yeah, it's even happening in other outside of Disney. There's not enough VFX teams to go around. But as far as this trailer goes, like I said, not the greatest, and I agree with you. ADCTW, it just definitely was not. So I really don't have too much to say on Andor right now. I definitely, like I said, we're going to do a roundtable discussion on Star Wars as a whole, but I don't have much more to say about Andor. So we'll move on. Like I said, we'll react to that when it does drop. It drops August. No, I'm sorry, not August anymore. It's coming out in September now. It'll be dropping in September, and we'll get 3 episodes. And then I know season 2 is already greenlit. So for season 2, the first 3 episodes of season 2 are going to be 1 year. The next 3 episodes are going to be year 2. The next 3 episodes are going to be year 3, and that's going to lead right into, I believe, Rogue One. So, but I'll be here. We'll be here with you guys to react to that and all things Star Wars. So we're going to move on from there. The next topic that we have to discuss with you guys is the DC's 10-year plan. So for me, that makes me super happy. And the reason that makes me super happy is because if you guys have been here, or you guys have been watching any of our videos from the past, you know that I am a huge DC fan. I tried my best before the merger, but I knew that before we found out the merger was coming, I tried my best to advocate for DC. We got into so many arguments in here, talking about DC, talking about Superman, talking about Henry Cavill, talking about all these things. Even with SDCC, I didn't even get my hopes up. I was gonna make a video talking about how Henry Cavill is gonna be at SDCC. They're gonna bring him out on stage and announce Superman, and Superman's gonna fight Black Adam, and it's gonna be awesome. None of that shit's gonna happen. And oddly, I'm okay with it. And the reason I'm not okay with Henry Cavill, because we don't know if Henry Cavill's actually coming back as Superman or not, but more than likely he is not. But DC is doing a reset, and with that reset, again, comes a DC Studios. We've talked about this on this channel before. I've talked about this when everybody was telling me like, oh, no, that's not blah, 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 blah. DC's doing it. David Zaslav, when the merger happened and they taken over, they had an earnings call earlier this week, and in that earnings call, they discussed several different things, but the only thing that was really on everybody's mind was, why was Batgirl canceled? What's going on with the DCEU? What's going on with the Flash? What are you guys going to do over there? And David Zaslav kind of laid everything out, and I'm going to be honest with you, Zaslav does not give not one, not two, green nor blue fucks about Black Adam. I'm telling you right now. If you listen to the call, he doesn't care about Black Adam. He doesn't care. It's not that he doesn't care about the character Black Adam. He doesn't care about the current state of the DCEU. He doesn't care how that movie does, I'm sure. Obviously, he cares about what it's going to bring income to the company. But as far as what it's going to do for the further mythology of the DCEU, he doesn't care about that. He does not care about what the new Wonder Woman is going to do. And as far as the Flash goes, the Flash is still happening. The Flash is still going to happen. But with it happening, they are going to do some reshoots. And some reshoots are going to lead into... And now, no reshoots like taking Ezra Miller out of the movie or anything like that. But that's not going to happen. Yeah, they're going to change some things that's going to possibly reset everything to where now we're in a completely new universe, and it's whatever David Zaslav and Warner Brothers have planned. For me personally, what I want, I do not want solo movies, and I've said this before. We know Krypton blew up. He became Superman. Got it. I don't need to see Bruce Wayne's parents get shot in an alley again. We know that. I don't need to know how Aquaman ascended to the throne. We know that. Yes, okay, Wonder Woman got banished from Themyscira. We know that. We know how Barry got his powers. I want a film where it is an already established Justice League.
Just dead ass something like the animations.
Yes, that's what I want. Like the
Something
animation.
like
Like
the
like
animations.
if when you go into some of the animated films, it's not like you're seeing like there's the one animation film where you see the Justice League form, but in other animations like the war, like when they attacked Apocalypse and Darkseid knew they were coming. I forget the name of it. Sorry, I think it's War on Apocalypse, but
it's Justice League Apocalypse.
Justice League Apocalypse. So when like something like that, like where we just enter into the movie in an already established plot, something that's already been going on or something like that. I'm not saying like it has to jump right into the action,
Like
but
movie one, yeah.
Yes, but what I'm saying is I want the League to be established in movie one. Like, and I'm not talking like they've been the League for 2 years. No, I'm talking like they've been doing this. They've been the League. Because think about it, bro. If we do a reset and we tell origin stories again, you know how long that's going to take for us to get to a actual Justice League film? It's going to take forever. And I just think that we need to have an already established team there. Like I said, we know who Superman is. We know who Kal-El is. We know who Bruce Wayne is. We know how Hal gets the ring. We know everything.
The Copper Broom said they need to let the animators do the movies. Better stories, better world. But yeah, no.
Completely agree.
Because ever since I don't think I started watching the DC animations till actually like my first time over here, and you told me about it. But ever since then, the animations just make you realize how bad the movies actually are. Like how bad the live action movies are. Because the animations, them motherfuckers are crazy.
No, the DC animation is dope. The DC, especially like I don't know how many people in the chat put a thumbs up in the chat if you are watching or you did watch Young Justice. Young Justice for me is
Peak.
Man, Young Justice is so fucking good. I loved this past season. The very beginning of the season 4, I had to go back and watch several times.
I still need to go back and rewatch
it
just because it's
everywhere. There's a lot that's going on in season 4. There's so much that's going on, but I love the way
that's how you would think a superhero world to be, or a universe to be with that, especially so many characters in the League and everything, the young ones. Then they actually show you shit going on with the actual Justice League sometimes and shit too. So it's like there's so much going on that it makes you actually realize that like you can put all these characters in a room together and make a story work. It's just going to take time to build it out, and you have to actually have fans of what you're doing. Like, nobody's a fan of the DCU right now. No one cares if they were to come out with another movie after the Flash and be like, this is what we'd be like, oh, cool. Like, we don't give a fuck.
And that's why people didn't give a fuck when Batgirl was canceled. And again, I feel sorry for the people that worked on Batgirl. I feel sorry for the director. I feel sorry for the VFX team, for all the people.
Kevin Feige had emailed them or something, because I guess they had also worked on Eternals, or they had worked on some Marvel project or something. So Kevin Feige sent them an email. It was just like apologizing for Batgirl getting canceled and everything. And I think they worked on What If, maybe. I don't know. But he had sent them, the producers, an email or some shit and just apologized for everything getting canceled over there.
Sympathetic with them.
And I was just like,
it's I do feel sorry for those people, but that just shows you that David Zaslav has a plan. He doesn't give a fuck about, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sorry, people. You might disagree with me in the chat. And you might get your feelings hurt on this one. Blue Beetle's next. Beetle's next.
I just hope they at least keep that design and everything. Like,
and I hate that I can't pronounce his name. Damn.
I always forget it too. And I never want to butcher it.
Boy from the dude from Cobra Kai. I can't pronounce his name, but I forget how he pronounces his name rather. But I feel bad for him because He's pumped for this role. He
No,
wants
really
to play
is.
Jaime
And
Reyes
it looks
bad.
super
And it does look good.
It
And
looks dope.
for culturally, for the
Yep.
Hispanic community, it is a needed hero. And Jaime Reyes is dope in general. Blue Beetle is dope. So I think that needs to be on screen, obviously. You know how I feel about representation and inclusion. So I think that needs to be on screen. But I'm just sad to say I do believe that it's next. I don't believe that Blue Beetle, because from what David Zaslav says, if you look here, the franchise characters, he said that Superman is the main thing that they need to be focusing on. And I agree with him. How many times have I said in the past, how the fuck are they doing the DCEU with silhouettes of Superman? How the fuck is your franchise's main character not showing up in shit?
Yeah.
Like, and people were wondering, people were having questions, people were getting sick of it.
Like we said, they have the blueprint from Marvel, though. It's like you
Right.
kind of realize, like, you start with Iron Man, then you bring one more in, but it's like we don't need with Marvel we did need those origin stories.
Right.
So, but DC we've already had them enough, so we don't need the origin stories. We just need them to be introduced in a way that you're focusing on the sole characters, that their story's actually good.
Right.
So that when they do actually team up and everything, they're not. You have like a poor written Superman with a great written Batman or some shit. And then
Right.
like their conversations or their dialogue makes no sense, or like no comic book sense or whatever, just because it's not. But I think what they're doing, or Zaslav is doing right now, is good, just because it's at the end of the day, it's a business. So whenever
It is a business.
some businesses have been bad for so long, it takes some. It may not be sympathetic or whatever, but it takes some some actual, you gotta go do what needs to be done. Like, you can't care about feelings, you can't really care about what's in the process. Sometimes you just gotta do what's best for the business. And I don't know if canceling Blue Beetle would be best. I mean, I don't really think I don't think it matters in the grand scheme of things. No, just because we know he has this 10-year plan that he wants to execute so bad that he's really been talking about for the last. He's been talking about it for a minute.
Yeah, he's been talking about this. Like I said, we brought this up maybe about 4 months ago now, when we first started talking about how the DCEU is going to be changing things. Like I said, as much as I don't want Blue Beetle to be canceled, I just looking at everything he's axed. Listen, The Flash season 9. He axed that shit. It was supposed to be longer.
Oh, yeah.
He said, no. Season 9, that's enough. Let's cut this shit at a couple episodes. Yeah, it's been long overdue. They've been needing to cut that.
No
out.
hate on Grant Gustin.
But definitely no hate on Grant Gustin.
Honestly, favorite shows whenever they first started it, seasons 1 through 3 were good in my opinion. I never disliked him.
The show.
I didn't dislike him playing the Flash.
No, I like the show.
I just felt like
there were a lot of
they
CW
just
shows
kept dragging it on a bit too long.
It was drug on. And that's what I think the point that Zaslav is making is, bro, if you let me play this really quick, just so you can hear what he said during the earnings call. If you just listen to what he said during the earnings call, he was not. Yeah, he was pretty clear.
You look at DC is one of the top of the list for us. You look at Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. These are brands that are known everywhere in the world, and the ability to drive those all over the world with great story is a big opportunity for us. We have done a reset. We've restructured the business where we're going to focus, where there will be a team with a 10-year plan focusing just on DC. It's very similar to the structure that Alan Horn and Bob Iger put together very effectively with Kevin Feige at Disney. We think that we could build a long-term, much stronger, sustainable growth business out of DC. And as part of that, we're going to focus on quality. We're not going to release any film before it's ready. We're not going to release a film in mid-quarter. We're not going to release a film the focus is going to be how do we make each of these films, in general, as good as possible. But DC is something that we think we could make better, and we're focused on it now.
And like I said, I've been a fan if you again go to some of our videos from 4 months ago with DC. I have been a fan of David Zaslav ever since he originally came in. When he originally came in before the merger, when he started, whispers were going around of what Zaslav wanted to do. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, he's not going to do that. Oh, he can't do that." Bullshit. Yeah. He's been cutting shit left and right. He cut the Wonder Twin stuff. That was done. They were casted. They were about to film. They were about to start filming. He came in and said, nah. Cut that shit. We're not doing that. Why are we wasting money on the Wonder Twins? No one's gonna watch this. And that's what I think that's what Zaslav is getting at. It's not the point that no one wants to watch Blue Beetle, because of course a lot of us, everybody wants to see Jaime Reyes, a live action Jaime Reyes film, Blue Beetle. Everybody wants to see that. But I think what he's getting at is, and I don't agree with canceling Blue Beetle. I want to make that clear. I think what he's getting at is, in order for us to gain the trust back of the general audience, we've got to take care of our legacy characters first and make this shit make sense. Show audiences that we can put out quality films like Marvel. Show audiences that we can make a connective universe like Marvel. Show audiences that we can have a 10-year plan like Marvel, and actually give you guys something that you're wanting to come to the theaters and see. Because as of now, like I said, I'm not watching Shazam in theaters. I don't give a fuck. I'm not
some shit I dead ass
really
turn on at home.
Yeah, and then really low key, I don't know if I want to see Black Adam in theaters. But you hear some of these things about Zaslav's 10-year plan, that they're going to be focusing on Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the legacy characters. Do you think they should do origins, or should it just be jumped right into?
I mean, my first thought when I was thinking of everything is not to do an origin of the characters. But let's say, like, the first movie that they come out, which is most likely a Superman something, I think the first scene in that should be some type of Justice League meeting or something, whether that's them just forming because of something that just happened or some shit, or whether the rest of the movie that's about, or whether they've been together and the meeting's about what the plot of the movie's going to be about. I think so,
yeah. That's what I mean. That would be great.
And so,
great.
I mean, I don't think there's a reason, like, I agree with you what you said on the origins. There's no reason to do the origins because we've had so many origin stories done, and we understand the origins. The thing about them is they're just not good. They're accurate, but the rest of the storyline in they're not good. And then they're not being written well. They're not being produced well, in my opinion. I don't even think the actors, most of the act, like Jason Momoa as Aquaman, maybe, but like the rest of them isn't even really appealing to me. Like, for me, I never liked Ezra as the Flash. I did forget about. Yeah, she's cool. I forgot her name though.
I forget her name too, but I would love to keep her as Wonder Woman.
But it's like
that Diana.
Cavill was cool too. I don't want to hate on Cavill.
Of course, Cavill for me.
It's like when I say, I mean like all the little side characters and everything. But it's like their main focus needs to be essentially what Kevin Feige did with Marvel. Just because, even though these Marvel films are sometimes debatable, they're debatable. Like, because they're good to some extent. They're not always. No, I can't really name a Marvel film that's just in the dirt like the whole 2 hours. I'm like,
I want you to finish that thought, but I want to say this too really quick on Marvel. I was thinking about this the other day, especially when they canceled Batgirl, which I don't really care, but when they canceled Batgirl and the whispers of maybe Blue Beetle being next and things like that, I want to say this. As far as Phase 4 goes, has Phase 4 been lackluster? Yes, it has. And this is not an MCU video, so I'm not going to turn it into one. But has Phase 4 been lackluster? Yes, it has. Has Phase 4 not been, the run and gun that we are used to in the MCU? Of course. But I will say this. Everything, and I'm putting myself in this category too, because I have said some things about Marvel as far as Phase 4 goes, is talked about. But we got to give them slack, and the reason I say that, actually not slack, we as fans, I think, I'm not saying we can't complain, we can't have our opinions, but I'm saying at the same time with that, we are in good hands with Marvel. What Marvel projects are being canceled just out of nowhere?
I was gonna say no.
What Marvel projects are we watching where we're just like, okay, it wasn't as good as the last one, it wasn't what I expected, but no one's walking out completely disgusted.
You wanna know why though? Because he has a plan. And the thing is, his plan is not bad. It's just that everyone doesn't agree with it. Everyone doesn't agree with them bringing in these little side characters and giving them intros.
But Feige understands the importance of what he's doing.
I was going to say, the MCU fans don't know the importance of these little side characters in the grand scheme of things. So it's like, the thing about the MCU is it's gotten to that point where it's so good that everything's going to be debatable. It's like, when you hear of greatness about anything, there's obviously going to be debates on.
And that's the position that Marvel's in.
I was going to say, that's the position Marvel's in. We're going to critique every little thing that they do. And it's like, I think that really just goes to show how great they are. Like, every movie they put out, they're still making millions of dollars, and it's like people want to go complain that they might be bad.
Yes,
still making money.
Again, I don't want to turn this into a Marvel,
like I said.
but to add to what you just said, before we even started filming, we were watching a video where someone was saying that they are sick of superhero movies because he said it feels like they're doing the same thing they're doing, or the Marvel films. It's like they're carbon copy ones. You can't tell one from the other, things like that. And again, that is someone's opinion. And film is subjective. You're able to have your own opinion. But I will say this too: the reason why it all, like he had said, in other films are starting to copy like this whole connective universe thing. Other films are copying it. The reason David Zaslav is wanting to do a connective universe and reset the DCEU is because he's looking at Marvel and he's like, damn. He's looking at Marvel. He's looking at the approval rating, the critics rating, the audience rating for Thor: Love and Thunder, and he's looking at how much money the film still made, regardless of the negative talk behind it, regardless of the negative talk behind Ms. Marvel, regardless of the negative talk behind Moon Knight. It's still cashed in,
and they're being viewed, they're making money, and I think that's what DC wants to get to. Like we've been talking about, they can come out with, I'd say it really doesn't take them more than 5 movies to gain it doesn't take them more than 3 movies to gain interest if they make those first 3 movies of the reset good, because it's like those first 3 movies can be something with Superman, something with Batman, and then we get
like Martian Manhunter could come in late. I don't want to say that. I think the core group of the league needs to already be there. Martian Manhunter needs to be there.
That already needs to be established.
That shit needs to be established.
Whenever you start,
you can start throwing in like the Atom, or even actually, I don't even want to say that. When I think of reset, if I'm David Zaslav, and maybe not everybody may agree with me, but what I think is a reset, I'm thinking the cartoon Justice League Unlimited, where it's all of the league and they're all there. Like, that's what I'm thinking when I think of reset. Already have it all established. Have the Atom there. Have Supergirl there. Have Plastic Man there. I mean, that's really wild one to throw out. But have all these guys already established, and then we don't have to see them. We don't have to see a Plastic Man in that film. But like, the Watchtower's already formed. Like, we know Plastic Man is maybe somewhere else handling something else, but we're focusing on Superman, Batman, blah blah blah. That's what I think when I think a reset. I that's what I would personally want. I don't want them to do a origin shit again. Like, by the time that happened, bro, I'm gonna be like 40 something, in my late 30s, middle 30s by the time they do that.
There's also no reason to do origins just because, like, you know how long that's gonna take with everyone, and you don't know how long actors are gonna want to sign up to do that shit for, just because the DC doesn't have that good track record like Marvel does.
Right.
Like, there's actors will be like, yes, I want to work with Marvel because they've seen what they've done. I don't think DC can necessarily pull actors in like that. Like, they can pull actors in because they know the potential of the storytelling that's there, but they don't have the history of making good live action films to be like, to have actors tune into this 10-year plan or something. Like, so I think you got to establish those first and second movies really, really hard off the bat, just so that we know the 10-year plan is for real. Right. 10 years is at least what, like 3 to 5 movies a year. Whenever Marvel first started, they were 3 movies a year.
Well, when Marvel first started, they were doing we were getting like the 1, 2, maybe
1 or 2.
Yeah. And I think too, James Gunn, because people were flipping out on when Batgirl got canceled. People on Twitter were like, "Oh my gosh, what does this mean for other projects? What does this mean?" Da 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 da. People were tweeting James Gunn, "What does this mean for Peacemaker 2?" And James Gunn tweeted back, "Guys, Peacemaker 2 is still happening. Calm down." Listen, listen, bro. The team behind the Batgirl did not know that shit was getting canceled. Zaslav came in and just said it's done. So James Gunn might, in his mind, think Peacemaker season, and I'm not gonna say Peacemaker season 2 isn't happening, and I'm just saying he might in his mind think it's happening. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna happen because it was DC's, as far as series go, their most profitable cash grab of 2020. When did that come out? Did that come out this year? 2022.
Damn.
They made a lot of money from Peacemaker. So I'm sure Peacemaker season 2 is happening, but to have that confidence as a director at DC, is wild to me when Zaslav cuts projects that are about to start filming in 24 hours. Like the film crew was ready to go in for the Wonder Twins.
Yeah.
He called them and said, pack that shit the fuck up. We're not filming that. We're not wasting money on that. So, like I said, I don't know.
That's what it goes back to. Like, if you're going to have this plan, it's going to take that. Like, you got to be hard on
that's
everything
exactly
you
it.
do, because you can't just allow anything to happen. You can't allow, like, a producer to let something happen in your universe to even where the slightest scene can fuck up the whole universe or cause, like, some type of plot hole question that everyone's freaking out about. And so there's just no use to be easy on anything, especially whenever... My thing is, we always argue how much better the DC characters are than Marvel and everything, but it's like you would not think that if you wouldn't read any comics and just saw TV or movies and everything. So it's like, we know how much potential the DC characters and storylines have and everything, so it's just do it. Like, that's all we want to see is do it.
And Zaslav also, like, what was I going to say? He had taken, went brain dead there. I know that there's a lot of stuff that, you know, he's axing. He had axed, like I said, I was talking about the Wonder Twins, and he took that down. There's just a lot of projects over there as a creator at DC that you don't know what exactly he's going to cut off, what exactly, you know, it is he wants to spend money on. Like, that's what I was going to say. With the Batman, with Michael Keaton showing up in Aquaman 2, that was redone. Because they showed the movie they test screened it to a test screening audience, and the audience was confused as fuck as to why Michael Keaton's in the, like why is Michael Keaton's back? And like I said, as an average DC viewer or an average viewer in any of this type of space, you're not attuned to what's really going on. But DC, at the same time, did not do a good job of putting Michael Keaton in there. They didn't explain that well. Maybe if Batgirl would have come out, I'm not saying it should have, but if Batgirl would have come out, maybe it would have explained it. But from some of the shit I saw from Batgirl, that shit needed to be put down. But it's like, so he took, then he had, that's why we saw Ben Affleck with Jason Momoa 2 weeks ago. Because Ben Affleck came in and just filmed some scenes for, in place of Michael Keaton. And all that's going to do is, that's because Ben Affleck's done as Batman. He's done as Batman. So I think what all that's doing is that's his send-off is going to be in the Flash. He's still going to, I don't know if he's going to die in the Flash. I don't know how they're doing that. I don't know.
I was going to say, I don't know how they're going to end this and everything. I don't know how the reset's going to end. I don't really care because I don't care about the Flash movie or anything.
Yeah, I don't care about the Flash
movie. And I know
movie.
that's most likely the movie that's going to start the reset and everything. So it's like,
yeah,
I'm just ready for the
reset.
I'm just ready for the reset to get here and everything because I don't care.
And really. the actress that plays Supergirl, I feel bad for her too.
Yep.
That film's canceled. She's not getting that solo Supergirl film. That's just not happening. And they haven't announced it's canceled yet. But if you think that shit's happening, if you think Zaslav is, again, you think David Zaslav is about to focus on a Supergirl film and waste money. He's not, bro. He's not. Why? We as DC fans, we as hardcore fans want to see that. But you have to think about the average viewer. How are you going to get the average viewer's ass in the seat? Everyone knows who Superman is. Everyone knows who Spider-Man is. The average viewer doesn't have to watch Homecoming and Far From Home to go watch No Way Home. Why? Because Spider-Man is a household fucking name. Superman is a household. Supergirl is not a household name. It's not. So, how are you going to get ass in the seat and money in the bank? Your legacy characters. That's how. So, I mean, I've been talking about this for a while. I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to see some of this stuff with the DCEU and things that they're doing. So I'm excited. I'm ready to see it. I'm a DC fan for sure.
Raymond 2000 said, "At this point, the mere mention of DC makes me extremely exhausted. I give up.
Yeah.
I haven't enjoyed a DC film since 2008. Young Justice is good. Kinda got bored with it this season. If they cancel Blue Beetle, I don't care if DC makes the best line of films. I'm not watching it."
I'm telling you. Yeah, man. Jaime Reyes is a fan favorite. Like, Blue Beetle is dope. Too dope to take off. Too dope to not even have a live action film.
Yeah, no, exactly. Johnny Washington said, I think DC should have their own production studio like Disney with Marvel Studios. Warner Brother needs to get creators that actually know the source so they can create better films with more cohesiveness.
And I'll touch on that really quick, Johnny. That is what is going on. That is exactly what you might want to go redo yours so I can recalibrate. But that is exactly what's going on, Johnny, with DC right now. DC, with the earnings call that they had earlier this week, it is official that David Zaslav is making DC Studios like Marvel Studios. It's going to be like Blumhouse Studios, like Tyler Perry Studios. It's going to be its own thing. It's going to be its own studio to where it's not going to have to fall under that umbrella with Warner Brothers. It's still a part of Warner Brothers, obviously, but it's its own studio. So that is what's happening. That is what David Zaslav has been wanting to move toward, because again, he's just expressing the importance of these legacy characters and having a studio. We've all been screaming for the longest, DC needs a studio. DC needs a studio. We need to have this. So yeah. So I completely agree with you there. The next one there from Johnny was Raymond again. If they call, or no, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. You got your
battery exhausted.
This one says here, I would like it's from Johnny again. I would like a Black Lightning movie or a Jon Stewart movie. Yes, man, yes. Again, over at our channel, you guys know, for you guys that are watching and new guys, and I see there from Stamina MC, we appreciate you. I'm gonna read those other comments in between him, but I'm gonna jump down to him because it kind of touches on what I'm about to say. He says, agree with the brother speaking now. Greetings, fanatics. First time catching a live here. Hey, bro, we appreciate it. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you watching with us. We appreciate you tuning in and even being interested enough to click on. But I wanted to say to that, for those of you that are new here, we do talk a lot about one of our main topics that we're going to be talking about moving even forward up until after Wakanda Forever is the recast of T'Challa. Why? Because it's the importance of the black male figure, black characters, seeing those characters on screen. So seeing Black Lightning, seeing Jon Stewart, those black characters, we need to see those characters on screen. Those characters need to have their own individual films. Those characters need to have that representation, because there's a lot of kids, a lot of black little boys that may not even know who Jon Stewart is, that may not even know who Black Lightning is. But if you put that on the screen and that's in live action, they're able to see, hey, this is a black superhero that currently, Black Lightning currently in Young Justice is the leader of the Justice League. That's another black leader of a major superhero team. That's just things that needs to be represented on screen. So I completely agree with you there, Johnny, that we should be seeing some more of our black superheroes on screen. Not just that, I saw earlier in the chat someone said Static Shock. We need to be seeing Static Shock too. We need to be seeing our black iconic superheroes on screen. So I'm not going to turn this into a recast of T'Challa, but that's why they need to recast T'Challa. These black little boys and black little and black girls, and not just black boys and black girls. Chadwick Boseman said it himself. There are little white panthers running around. There are little brown panthers running around. We need to be seen in the best light on screen. And that is just, to me, how you do it. Instead of having us be the deadbeat father or the absentee this or whatever that, or the drug dealer this or the robber that, why can't we be the strong superhero Jon Stewart that is a part of the Green Lantern Corps that's kicking ass in the cosmos? Why can't we be the street level Static Shock that's a teenager that's black and he's got his own issues going on, but he's got superpowers and he's representing our culture? Why can't we see Black Lightning, again, who is currently the leader of the Justice League right now? So yeah, brother, I agree with you. I agree with you there. Sorry, I can go on those fucking tangents all day. And that was Raymond that said that the static movie's probably over too. Oh, that is true. They were doing that Static movie, and I'm agreeing with you there too. They probably are going to cut it. They probably are going to cut it. Johnny said, I think Milestone Media Productions, the Static movie. Oh, they might. I'm not sure. But he is still a DC character, so he still falls under the property with Zaslav. Recast the Flash. Yes, definitely recast the Flash. And Cooper said, what is that? Galdagon. I don't know what that is, brother.
Tangents are what lives are for. Speak your truth. I'm here for it all. Stamina MC. No.
Yeah,
that's
we appreciate it.
100% true.
We appreciate it.
My camera ain't on anything, but my mic's still.
Oh, let me fix yours. Sorry about that.
No,
Sorry.
Don't turn it on. I was just gonna say switch it just to you if you can, because my battery says it's exhausted, so I might just need to let it charge for a minute.
Oh, that's fine. Well, I'm still here with you guys. You'll hear Q until we get that back up. Sorry. Hey, man, these are those things. Being a new channel, being things, trying to figure shit out. We have some technical difficulties. We have some technical difficulties, but it'll be fun once we get bigger and once things start taking off a little bit more to look back on some of these videos and be like, damn, we didn't have shit together.
Holy shit. Like, you know how much easier shit is now than it was 2 years ago or a year ago or some shit. But no, I mean, everything with the situation going on in DC is just, it is unfortunate for everyone involved, but it's like, as fans, DC's been in the dirt so long, it's like, we got to be happy to see someone come up and pick it up, honestly, and come put all these pieces together to build the universe and the plan and everything. And even if that does mean that some things have to get cut because it won't be in continuity with everything else, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
it's just going to be better for the studio.
It's
just going to be better for the studio. And that's my thoughts on the DC's 10-year plan. Like I said, I've been a fan of David Zaslav's ever since he talked about the merger and his plans with the merger. And as far as the Snyderverse goes, because I don't know if that's going to come up from anybody, I don't think that's happening. I really don't. As a Snyder fan, I am a big Snyder fan. It's just not happening. And it may be for the better, honestly, because there's so much controversy and conversation behind the Snyder Cut when it comes to the fandom. So it's just the whole reset just needs to be better. Let the Snyderverse be what it is, and it just is what it is. And anyway, Zach is busy over with Netflix doing Rebel Moon, and he's going to be busy with that anyway, so he's not got time for DC stuff. But that was my thoughts on it. That's Q's thoughts on it. We'd like to know you guys' thoughts. Let us know down below in the comments if you guys have any thoughts on the DCEU 10-year plan, and now it being DC Studios, and David Zaslav's cutting this and cutting that and keeping this and wanting to bring this in. Let us know down below what you guys think of everything going on with that. Moving on from there, we're going to talk about Eternals 2 possibly being on the table here. Now, this is not confirmed from Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios, or anything like that. This is just confirmed from Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt is from Parks and Recs. I don't know if you guys saw saw the deal that he did there. It came out around, not came out, but it got resurfaced around when the Book of Boba Fett came out. It was his whole spill he was giving in Parks of Rec, where he was talking about Star Wars intertwining with Marvel and all that kind of stuff. It's really funny. But that is Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt plays Pip the Troll in Eternals, and Pip the Troll has global tracking. As far as his abilities go, he's a global tracker. He can find just about anybody, anywhere. That's one of the reasons why
Doctor Strange spell in a person.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Star Fox. I mean, him and Star Fox obviously are together in the comics quite a bit, all the time almost. But it's one of those things where that's why Pip is with Star Fox, because Pip can find the other Eternals. He can find out where Arishem has taken them, and not only that, Pip does have superhuman strength as well. So Patton Oswalt was on the Today Show, and he was just talking. He got asked by Al Gore, who asked him, "Hey, what's going on with Eternals 2? Or things happening with that?" Where Patton Oswalt said, "No, it's happening. I'm playing Pip the Troll. I'm going to be joined back by Harry Styles. Chloe Zhao is coming back to direct, and things like that." So because a lot of people were wondering after SDCC. What's going on with Eternals? We didn't hear shit about Eternals in Phase 5 or Phase 6, but we know they're coming back because it said it at the end of the movie. You know, Marvel does that cheesy thing now, or at the end of every movie is like, Spider-Man will return, Doctor Strange will return. Well, yeah, no shit, they're going to return.
Thor will be back.
Yeah, so, so they at the end of the film, they said Eternals will return. Well, yeah. But another thing that people have been saying, too, about Eternals, not just what's going on with Eternals 2, but why in Phase 4 have we not heard anything about a giant celestial sticking out of, I think it's the Indian Ocean, whatever ocean it is, one of the bigger oceans? Why have we not heard anything about this Eternal or whatever, this man? Why have we not heard anything about Arishem just coming and snatching Cersei and the rest of, and Phastos, whoever else he took with him? Why have we not heard anything about that? So I'll play what Patton Oswalt said here. He didn't go into the thing with Arishem or anything like that, but he did just kind of talk about what he's going to be doing and what plans they kind of have going right now for what's that called?
Eternals.
Yeah,
2.
Eternals. So let's see what he had to say there. Oh, did I not take that down? Sorry. One second, chat. Bear with me one moment.
Stamina MC. This topic is of particular interest to me. I'm a Marvel normie and never really got into the whole DC thing. I only ever took projects as and when they came with no investment. So hearing folks talking about it passionately is always insightful. Yeah, no, that's mainly why we want to do this, because we know not a lot of people, if you're just the regular, not regular, but if you just view the movies as fans or anything and don't really know the deeper aspect of it, there's definitely deeper aspects behind everything because they're not straight from source all the time.
Yeah, no, the DC is beautiful. If you're one of those people that you know, again, you said being an MCU normie or being a normie in general in any of this stuff, it is. I've always said, like, if people say, "Oh, I want to see a DC versus Marvel film," I personally don't, because realistically, I know this stuff is fiction. It's not real, but it's all, you're having writers, like, just like the DC versus Marvel comic. Those are writers that are writing that. So you can write whoever you want to win. Just like you can write in your script who
exactly
you want
like
to
that
win.
video of Stan Lee. He was like, stop arguing about who would win, and I forgot who he was talking about. He's like, whoever the writer wants.
Right. Whoever the writer wants to win is who's going to win. But realistically, let's take fiction out of it for just a second. Realistically, and this is a roundtable discussion I want to do, if this shit was real, bruh, those are gods fighting regular fucking men, okay? Yeah. Iron Man is a man in a suit. These are gods at DC. So, like, no.
Say, the only time you ever get
they would fuck them.
Marvel characters winning is if you go power scale their variants and everything and, like, the most powerful versions of them. But DC, like you said, DC, they're all fucking...
They are gods.
I forgot how to explain it, but it's like all their characters literally came from, like, some meaningful shit. Like, Spider-Man got bit by a spider, and if you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's not that. Like, becoming a superhero off getting bit by a spider or some shit, it's not. But, like, how every other, like, Batman is... We have the argument of Batman and Iron Man are the same, but it's like...
But see, the thing with Batman
is...
How much time does Batman have to prep before he fights
I was about
someone?
to say, this thing with Batman is he knows everything that Stark's tech would know.
Right, yeah. Bats is crazy, bro.
That nigga is honestly insane. Whenever I start reading more into him and everything, that nigga is crazy smart.
Yeah, no,
So Raymond 2000 says, Celestial is sticking out of the ocean, and another one appeared before the world in the sky, and not even the Sorcerer Supreme mentioned it. No, agree.
Right, and see, I want to say this too, because I've said this in past videos too. I don't want it to be one of these things where something happens and then all of a sudden this hero shows up and this... I get it. Spider-Man's in New York. You got Shang-Chi happening in San Fran. You got what's going on with Jennifer Walters going on in that's in San Fran too. You've got what's going on with Thor in New Asgard. There's so many different things going on. So they're not all, like I've said this before, they're not the fucking Powerpuff Girls. They're not sitting around the phone waiting for the mayor to call and say, "Hey girls, we need your help downtown." Dormammu's terrorizing the town. No, like, that's not it. So I get it, it doesn't all need to be... I get why we say, like... I get why, like, maybe the Sorcerer Supreme hasn't mentioned it or anything like that. But at the same time, Arishem shows up, bruh, and no one says anything. So, I mean, but I get it. I get that, too. I see both sides.
Mano 215, Marvel all day, bro. DC doesn't have a chance. That is... You might need to pick up a DC comic.
Like, on you know what? And on what you're saying there on Marvel all day, as far as I don't know if you're talking about like MCU, like as far as properties go, like movies, yes. Even in comics, I'm not shitting on Marvel, but I'm saying, bro, if
they were to go to
if
war,
they were to go to war, if they were going to war, my guy,
it's just too much in the DC. Like it's too much for the MCU. Like the only niggas bringing some bite in the Marvel universe is like Wanda, a couple of the X-Men. Maybe even if that though.
Like yeah, no, like
because whenever you think of a bitch like Raven on the Teen Titans,
that's what I'm saying. You think about the sorcerers they have in DC. Not just the sorcerers, the godlike beings they have in DC, but the sorcerers like Dr. Fate. You've also got like if you were to throw, because in the Marvel comic they threw in like Thanos versus Darkseid. So if you throw some of the villains in there, you've also got damn, what is the young guy's name and the oh fuck, it's killing me now. Whatever, it'll come to me. But there's so many sorcerers over in the DCEU that are just like Fate, bruh. Nah, Dr. Fate
I'm
is...
still arguing with you on that. That Strange is fucking with Fate.
That's
not
Dr.
MCU
Fate.
Strange.
Dr. Fate, bro, is
nah, but
tough.
Just the X-Men alone, bro. I mean, we just watched. I mean, the X-Men comics. I mean, yeah, no, but we just watched fucking.
And then there's that
Well,
message from Ferb there that said you think they reboot DC with Matt Reeves, Rob Pat. As of now, no. And the reason I don't think that is because of how success. And I don't want to say that because Zaslav it could do whatever, but I don't think he cuts Rob Pat's Batman.
Well, I think they also have a plan.
They do have a plan
Rob
for
Pat's,
it. They've already got
the trilogy.
They've already got the trilogy to 4
and
films.
that's the same
that they're
thing with
do.
the Joker as well. I don't think anything over is there because I think that Batman and that Joker, those storylines, those are good establishments of just little side stories of the characters. And
see, I wouldn't even know if I wouldn't even throw the story in there. I would on that one, especially with the Joker. I would think for that Zaslav being the businessman he is, that we've seen. Yeah. Zaslav's looking at the Joker saying, that was our film that made $1 billion. Yeah, you definitely greenlight a season 2. Because it's Holly. People say, what do they say? It's Holly business, not Hollywood or something like that. Like it's about money. It's not about is this story being told right? No. Obviously that's what he wants to, but at the end of the day, in order for them to tell those stories, they got to have the money to do it.
Johnny Washington. I believe in the comics, the sleeping Celestial on Earth became the new base for the Avengers, so I think they're saving that story for when the Avengers reassemble. Well, I think we were watching something before that said the Avengers have a base on some celestial world, because that's what they're talking about before they went and battled the X-Men or whatever. They went and talked to the Avengers on that celestial. I just can't remember what it was named.
Yeah.
But they're definitely getting into introducing more than one celestial and everything. That's why I'm hoping we do get Galactus soon, because they've made the Celestials look good, and it's like made me think that they can make Galactus look 100% completely doable, accurate.
Yeah, they can do it.
So I'm just waiting, not really like eager to see it soon because I know he's farther down the line, but I mean he might even be phase 7, 8 type shit. Like,
yeah, they'll definitely do it. And then there from Johnny that said Captain America just needs a shield made out of kryptonite. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that is the thing with Superman. Obviously, the thing with Superman is kryptonite, but it's not just Superman you'd have to worry about. Like, if I was to pull a list of the League members...
I would just say Raven, like, I'm telling you, bro, the Marvel Universe would have fits with the Teen Titans. Because those are my favorite characters in DCU, and I firmly believe the Teen Titans would work.
Now, and I definitely see what you're saying there on the X-Men, for sure. Now, I'm not going to sit here and shit on the X-Men at all. Like, the X-Men, bruh, like, so if you just do the X-Men versus DC, that's a fight. That's a fight. I mean, because those are still gods over there at DC, but... The X-Men, these are fucking mutants, bro.
Mutated,
these are
like
mutants.
Not human beings.
Exactly, yeah, these are mutants. So I definitely can see the X-Men giving DC heroes a fight for sure. That'd be dope. But if it's like just the Avengers, like if it's Captain America saying Avengers assemble, he's not even getting a symbol out before he's decimated.
No, he's not getting...
Yeah, no. But if it's the like, X-Men, oh, for sure.
Only one out of them going and fucking with anyone out of DC is Thor. Like, actual Avenger-wise is Thor. And then you take... The only thing I like for Marvel, if I were to bring they're like, you're about to go to war with DC, choose who you want from Marvel to bring. I'm bringing like the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, Thor, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. I don't know if I'm bringing any more of the Avengers. Hulk and She-Hulk. Like,
Spider-Man is always going to be in
and
my
then
roster.
if you want to go like more comic book, you bring in Sentry and there's a couple others you bring in, but all in all, DC is just, when it comes to the popular character levels and everything, like DC's most popular characters and Marvel's most popular characters, DC's definitely stomping, without a doubt.
Do you think we get Batman with the wide eyes in the reboot? I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not even sure exactly what Zaslav's vision or what he's seeing as a reboot. Is he seeing it as the more classic look for the heroes, or is he seeing it, like you said, with the wide eyes? I don't really know what look he's going for there. I do for sure, like I said, whatever it is, one of the things that DC has always been missing is a Kevin Feige. Zaslav is not their Kevin Feige. Zaslav is more of their Bob Iger. But he's wanting to find a Kevin Feige type figure that he can have, take that 10-year plan that he's got in his head, see the same vision he has, and then take that and make it to being what the Marvel Studios currently is with under Kevin Feige. I guarantee you, if he could, he would try to get Feige back over at DC, because there was a point there before coming over to Marvel where Kevin Feige said he was going to be over at DC. Imagine that, though. Imagine a world where Kevin Feige is not involved in Marvel Studios and he's over at DC instead. Would DC be what Marvel Studios is today and Marvel Studios be what DC is today? Or would it still be the current state of the DCEU? So as far as what they're doing with the reboot, who's going to look like what, I don't know, but I'm with you on the white eyes. I think the white eyes Batman. That's one of my favorite cowls that he wears. So
I'm gonna say bringing in ADC TW said Black Bolt. Yeah, there's Black Bolt. Obviously, there's that. It'd be something interesting to see if like the writer who did that DC versus Marvel story would be like an actual realistic writer in the sense that he knows what Marvel characters can fuck with what DC characters.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's realistically DC's not losing that battle.
And on that there too, with like I said, with Eternals 2, this is what Patton Oswalt had to say there.
My camera should be good too, by the way.
Okay, one second. Let me get Q back in here, and then I'll show that video of what Patton Oswalt had to say about Eternals 2. And let me know, chat, what did you guys even think of Eternals? Were you guys fucking with Eternals? For me personally, after the 15th time I watched Eternals, it got good for me. I started to understand it a little bit more. I still hate the third act. The third act for me of Eternals is still shit, because it's like
it took me twice. I needed to watch that movie twice, and I was in here arguing with all three of them that Eternals is a good film. I was going against the ratings, everything, just because after I watched it the first time, I went and watched a couple of YouTubers break it down and everything and kind of explain what it could mean for the bigger storyline and everything. And so then I actually went back and rewatched it myself, and I was like, there's no reason. I don't see why the movie is so low. Right? In my opinion, it is a bit slow, but
like I said, the movie.
It's hard to introduce so many characters like that, which is why, like I said, it should have been a TV show.
Yeah, it should have been a show. The third act sucks for me personally. That's where they lose me completely with the movie. I'm just like, man. Like, I'm not gonna go into that part, but just like, there's just a lot of pointless things that happen in the third act for me. A lot of goofy things that happen in the third act also. But the movie itself, as I've seen it so many times, it's grown, and I understand and see the importance of it in the MCU. But this is what Patton Oswalt had to say about that.
So, Patton, there's word out there that you might be part, speaking of the metaverse, part of the Marvel universe, along with Harry Styles.
Oh, well, yeah, there's Harry Styles and I are in a little post-credit sequence in the Eternals. I play Pip the Troll. He plays Star Fox,
Right.
Thanos' brother. It's actually, Al, it's interesting, in early issues of the comic, see, Star Fox originally, when he first appeared, he was...
Come back to me. Come back to me.
They have announced there's going to be an Eternal sequel. Chloe Zhao is going to direct it, so hopefully there will be more adventures of Star Fox and Pip.
Oh.
So I know you and Al could probably nerd out.
Okay, so yeah, that's what he had to say about Eternals 2. Now, as far as Eternals 2 goes, like I said, Marvel Studios themselves haven't announced shit. But being in Hollywood, these actors, these actresses, they all have publicists. And whenever they go on a talk show like this, whether it be Jimmy Fallon, a late night show, or today, or something like the Today Show, they are always prepped before they go on camera. They are given the questions that they're going to ask, and then their publicists and them approve whether or not they want to answer those questions on screen. And then it's based upon the questions that they ask you on screen are based upon the best answers that you give off screen to whatever questions they ask you. They're like, okay, those are good questions, so we're going to ask you this question again, and we want you to elaborate on it a little bit more when we get on screen. Boom. That's how that works. So to sit here and think that, because I've seen people saying, did Patton Oswalt did this slip? But this is a Tom Holland moment. Did this get away? No, it definitely did not. His publicist, I'm sure, was sitting off camera when, nodding, yes, you can't answer that. No, you can't answer that. Yes, you, like, Marvel at the same time is not going to let something like that just get out on the Today Show. I think what it is, it's one of those things where they were looking at it and they were like, well, Eternals wasn't really well received by everyone, so instead of spending all this big money on an announcement, just have Patton Oswalt go on Today Show and say, hey, yeah, we're going back. We're coming back.
And then have everyone start talking about it.
And then have everyone...
Guess what Patton Oswalt did today.
Yeah, and it's happening. It's working. It's...
Yep. It really is, because, I mean... Wasn't nobody else finna be talking? We weren't finna be talking about Eternals today if he hadn't went on. So we probably wouldn't have been thinking about Eternals for the next. I surely wasn't thinking about Eternals when I walked in here.
No, no, it's like, and I do want to see I do want to see them because I love the relationship between Makkari and Druig. Like, I want that again. I want to see that again. I thought that the on-screen chemistry that Makkari and Druig had was so fucking good. It was so good.
And we need to see Phastos technology progress in the MCU and everything, and we need to see more people get a hold of it, I think. Or not even more people get a hold of it, but just the weapons he can create for Secret Wars and shit.
But and then of course my favorite is Icarus. I mean, my favorite is Icarus in the comics, but he is in the comics. Vastly different from the Icarus we get in the MCU, but I still really like Icarus in the MCU, and so I'm excited to see some of these characters come back. I don't think Gilgamesh is dead.
Is Icarus dead?
I know Icarus is not. I don't think Icarus is dead.
Because ADC, there's no they killed Icarus in that. He said there's no reason for them to kill Icarus.
Well, he flew into the sun. But the thing with Marvel is, remember,
I wasn't taking that as them killing them or anything.
One of the things with Marvel, or not just Marvel, any movie, if it's not an on-screen death,
I'm not
if you don't see the body,
dead.
if you do not see the body, just like even Harrow, to think that Harrow is dead if you don't see the body, I don't believe they're dead.
Like, and Tony Stark is dead.
Yes, Tony Stark is dead.
Aunt May is dead.
Like, those people are dead. We saw their deaths, not just like saw them and then saw outside of where their death was happening. Like, unless you see that body, and not only that, they have carbon copies of each of these Eternals. There are several copies of them, because whenever they how many copies did we see of Cersei when she was being shown everything by Arishem? There were so many different Cerseis, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, I'm not sure how the MCU is doing this, but I believe whenever they destroy a world like Raxia Prime or whatever it was Thena kept talking about, I believe though their Eternal, that copy of them is destroyed as well, and then a new copy is just created or awoken for the next world that they're going to.
That's what they're talking about in the comments.
Oh yeah, so he's not dead.
Another one can be made at World Forge, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Stan MC, nice shit.
Yeah.
But another thing I was what was I about to say? just keep going. I'll remember it here in a minute.
Joey ZZZ. I have not watched Sandman yet. I am going to. I have not watched it yet. I've heard nothing but good things about it. So I'm very excited to watch that. You liking it so far? Obviously, it's fire. How many episodes in are you? But yeah, so let me know how many episodes in you are on it. How many episodes is it? Is it like 12? But I'm really excited for to see the Eternals interact with the wider MCU.
Yeah.
I want to see how
I
they
want to
react
see the
and
MCU
interact.
press them.
Yeah.
Why the fuck you ain't?
Yeah. Where were you guys? Why didn't you guys help? You know, things like that.
Y'all been out here all along, like eternally.
Yeah.
Watched us. Yeah. No.
I'm excited
so
for
much
that.
they can do with that. Yeah.
And then, of course, moving on from that, the next thing that we have there, and we'll get to some of those comments here with you guys in just a second. One of the last topics we have here, this is our last topic before we move to the Phase 4 tier list, is Moon Knight. Now, everybody knew during Moon Knight when it came out, I didn't love Moon Knight. But I did like Moon Knight. Moon Knight for our channel loved Moon Knight, and the reason our channel loved Moon Knight was our first big boom. It was our first big video that got over 1,000 views, over 5,000 views, and so Moon Knight for us, we
just had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
We knew we were kind of getting engagement and everything, so it was just fun.
And we knew a lot of the stuff that was going on from plot leaks and things like that.
I was gonna say, and obviously, not just more us two, but Trey more so. He was a Moon Knight fan and everything, so I think people kind of like seeing him being an actual fan, arguing with him on some of his stuff or whatever. So it's always fun to see just our different opinions on stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. No. Moon Knight was fun for us. There a lot. Like I said, a lot of people thought during when it first started, when we talked about this in one of our videos, Oscar Isaac did not sign on for another season. He was signed on, and Marvel even called it a limited series. It was signed on as a limited series. It was supposed to be a one and done deal. It had a lot of people wondering, are we going to see Oscar Isaac in the wider MCU as Moon Knight? Which I always thought was fucking dumb when people were saying that. They're like, does that mean we're not going to see Moon Knight? No, that doesn't fucking mean you're not going to see Moon Knight. That just means you're only getting one season of his show. Why would you not see Moon Knight? So Moon Knight is still going to be happening in the MCU, but now it seems like he's going to be getting a season 2, and this is the kind of the evidence here that backs up that possibly a season 2 is happening over in Cairo. Mohammed Diab, who is the director of Moon Knight, and Oscar Isaac were seen in Cairo, and a fan went up to them on TikTok and said, the question that everybody's wondering is there going to be a season 2 for Moon Knight? And Oscar Isaac's kind of like, well, what do you think we're doing in Cairo? So a lot of people are looking at that. Let's see that there.
The question on everyone's mind, is there a season 2?
Why else would we be in Cairo?
So, yeah, and some people have been saying, well, that doesn't mean it's confirmed. That just the people, bruh, I'm telling you, people love to shit on good news. Like when people are happy about stuff, somebody wants to come take the fattest shit on and be like, no, that doesn't mean that. He didn't say it's happening. Disney hasn't. Fuck you. Let motherfuckers be happy for a second. So we don't, like, for me, that's confirmation enough. Why some people are like, well, maybe they're just hanging out. Yes, Oscar Isaac and Mohammed Diab I don't know the relationship. Maybe they do just hang out in Cairo. Sure. Okay. But I do think that a season 2 is happening because it was successful for Marvel. Again, this is what we were just talking about earlier. There were people that were like, oh, it wasn't for me. There were people that were talking shit about it, but everyone watched it. So it's like, that's what I think that Marvel is doing right now. It's like, yeah, it may not have been your cup of tea, but it was somebody's cup of tea, and we're gonna make some more tea and put that shit in there. So they're gonna continue on with season 2. So that is happening. Moon Knight is a part of the Black Suns. We should possibly see him doing some shit there. I do not see them putting him on, because I've seen some people saying, is he going to be a part of the new Avengers team? I don't see a Moon Knight character a part of the Avengers.
There's just so much
he
being
is in the
introduced
comics, though.
Into the MCU, like that's actual New York street level and anything, to where we're going to be able to see those little interactions on street level and everything. I got the hiccups.
Yeah, and Feige touched on that at SDCC. He even said Spider-Man, he's classified Spider-Man as a street level hero. Daredevil, street level heroes. He said the MCU is about to become a place where you have your street level shit that's going on, you got your cosmic shit that's going on, and you got your mid level shit that's going on. It's that's where the MCU is right now. It's that type of environment that they've built. So you guys let us know down below in the comments, what do you guys think about Moon Knight? Were you vibing with the first season of Moon Knight? Was it what you were wanting? And Mohammed Diab was actually interviewed a while back. I don't remember who that interview was with, but they asked him if season 2 was to be greenlit by Disney, what would you want to do in that? And he said, well, I would obviously want to take on the personality of Jake Lockley. And obviously that's who we saw at the end of the series. We saw Jake Lockley show up with Khonshu. So this season should possibly be around Jake Lockley and what's going on there. Is Mark and are we going to see Mark? Are we going to see Steven? Don't know. I'm sure we will. We will. But it's going to be Jake Lockley.
Well, there's already, I know you're asking for comments and everything, but ADCTW said they better make Moon Knight darker. Raymond 2000 said Moon Knight was a huge letdown. Mano 215 said glad they made Moon Knight a series. Could not imagine it being a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Stamina MC said I loved it. I loved Moon Knight, all caps. Neutered violence and fluffed the finale a little bit, but the depth of the character and self-contained world it lived in was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
A welcome break from the formula. And that's kind of what I want to touch on because everyone wanted it to be violent and dark or anything like. But at first, we have to establish who Moon Knight is. And so I think everyone knows that, like, the main thing they know about Moon Knight is that he's one of the more violent and gruesome characters and everything. But I think what the MCU wanted to do is establish why. And so I think seeing Jake at the end, I think we're all kind of assuming that Jake's going to be the more violent just out of the scenes we got from the first season and everything. So it's like... seeing Jake Lockley is more likely the violent personality and everything. Like when they first came out with the show, they said they wanted to focus on the mental health aspect of it, and that's what they did. And then when we got to the last half of the season, I mean it was so emotional to me. I go back and watch those last 2 episodes occasionally, and I'm just like, the way Oscar Isaac was able to portray himself along with another character, but like not even physically because he's kind of doing it in his own mind. Mm-hmm. So it's like a mental game, and then he's portraying himself in the real world, and then he's back in his mind again. I was going to say, sometimes you got to go back and rewatch everything and really like take into account how much is being done, because that's one of the best intro storyline that we've gotten out of a character, in my opinion, out of a minute.
Yeah, I thought Moon Knight was great. You know, if you guys want to see more of what we thought about Moon Knight, you can go back and watch some of those. Give us some more views. You can go back and watch some of those reaction videos that we did there. Like I said, I thought Moon Knight, I didn't love it. I did like it. I know that they were pulling heavy from the Matt Lanier runs and everything like that. So I loved that they were pulling from that. I love seeing some of the actual pages from the comic pasted onto the screen. I love when Marvel does that, and I love that they've been doing that a lot more lately. We talked about that in Moon Knight. And then, like you said, they said they were going to focus on the mental health aspects of everything, and they did. They focused on that. Oscar Isaac brilliantly portrayed that, especially even the little boy that they had portraying Steven and Mark, the little actor that was portraying them, and his little brother. When he transforms the first time into Steven, and he's like, oh, he's like, oh, mother's going to be upset if I don't clean up. Like that. I thought that was so brilliantly done, just to show people, normal fans, this is who Moon Knight is. Yep. He's not your average, stable, put-together hero. There's moments, even in the comics, where Moon Knight he thinks, like Trey said this so many times, where he thinks he's Thor. He thinks he's someone else. Because he's so mentally unstable. That's what Marvel was trying to show you. So when we do see him again in the MCU,
he's not even stable yet.
Yeah. So when we do see him again in the MCU, it makes sense. It's going to make sense to the audience when they see what the fuck's wrong. Why is he so violent? Yeah. It makes sense to the audience. So I liked Moon Knight, and I agree with you there, Stamina. I thought it was well done. Like again, I love that you loved it. I liked it, but I love that you loved it.
I was gonna say, out of Phase 4, it's something to love out of Phase 4, in my opinion. Everything, just because we haven't gotten.
But we said that too during our Moon Knight or Miss Marvel stuff. We said that too. The MCU is also in a place where you can have people like Stamina MC who can say, "I loved Moon Knight," and I can say, "I liked Moon Knight." And it's like, that's where the MCU
You know how
is
much
now.
Moon Knight could probably mean to so many more people who actually like may have some mental depression issues or whatever, just some mental
Right.
health issues. It may have saved their life or so. It's like you can never
It's
tell. I was
representation.
gonna say you can never tell someone how much something means to them. So I mean,
it's no matter what. And when people say representation, that doesn't always necessarily just mean seeing someone that has your skin color on screen. Representation is in so many different forms, whether that be from portraying someone with mental health issues correctly, or portraying someone within the LGBTQ community correctly. It has so many different forms and so many different shapes that it takes on. So representation matters, and it mattered in Moon Knight for people that deal with mental health issues. So I agree.
do y'all think they would use Moon Knight as a character in Secret Wars?
I do, and the reason I do
Yes.
think that they will is because these characters that we're seeing right now, leading up to Secret Wars is I don't know if this is going to be the MCU's reset. I don't know if they're going to reset anything after this, or how they're going to do how they're doing Secret Wars exactly, but. All these characters that we're getting sprinkled in, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Wonder Man series that is rumored is happening, all these more characters that people don't know so much about, all of these characters are going to show up in Secret Wars. All these characters we're going to see multiversal versions of these characters. You know, I even think by that time, if you go back and watch some of our first videos, I've said this before. I do not see Marvel, Sony coming together, or Sony individually doing a solo live action Miles Morales film. As you know, Secret Wars, Miles Morales plays a huge part in Secret Wars. I don't see them doing a live action. Why? Because Into the Spider-Verse was wildly successful. It's one of the best, arguably one of the best Spider-Man films. So when you have Into the Spider-Verse like that and it's already successful, then you've got, what's this next one? Breaking the Spider-Verse, or I know the last one or whatever, the third one is called Beyond the Spider-Verse. I think that's where he breaks into the live action stuff. He might even break into live action in this one. I'm not sure. I doubt it, but I don't know. But in the third one, I think that's where we break into the live action stuff. So when we start seeing him live action, yeah, you're going to have the multiversal versions of these characters. So I do think we will see Moon Knight. I think that we're going to see She-Hulk. We're going to see RDJ's Tony Stark back. We're gonna see Captain Rogers back. Captain America. Chris Evans as him. We're gonna see all of these guys come back. Natasha is gonna be back. Secret Wars again is just, it's too massive of a film to where you can't make that shit happen. It's too massive of a comic. So.
Yanni Washington loved Moon Knight. That and Loki were my favorite Disney Plus shows. I want Moon Knight on a Midnight Suns team up.
Yep, Moon Knight will definitely be with the Midnight Suns. Sandman is 10 episodes, and I finished it in one day. The most comic book. Yeah, I've heard that too, bro. I've heard that it is the most comic book accurate. I gotta watch it. I haven't watched it yet though, but I definitely gotta watch it.
HBO?
No, it's on Netflix.
Netflix?
Yeah. Do y'all think they would use Moon Knight? Oh yeah, okay, you saw that one.
Yeah.
Ferb said, "Do you think Spider-Man returns in Secret Wars storyline or Spidey film?" I think he's going to show up in a Spider-Man film first. Right now, Tom Holland is in contract with Marvel Studios for one more film, and that is not a solo film. It's a cameo crossover type deal. So he still has the contract for a crossover type film. The next crossover film, well, I don't know. We could see him show up. That doesn't necessarily mean a huge Avengers-like event. It could be like a Civil War event, something like that. It could be even smaller. It could be in a I don't know. It could be in Daredevil. Hell, I don't know. I'm not saying it's in Daredevil. I'm just saying it could be something as small as that. So he is contracted to still have one more film with Marvel. So we don't really know exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, it could be even something as insignificant as Hawkeye, but yeah, I think we see him again in that crossover film. I think we see him again in a solo film, and then I think we see him again in Secret Wars. Secret Wars, despite Marvel saying it's coming in 2025, don't hold your breath, I'm going to predict 2026, and the reason I say that is because we were just talking about this, the director that directed Shang-Chi is directing Kang's Dynasty, and they only have him listed as directing just Kang Dynasty. There's no way you are doing Kang Dynasty and whatever, May.
Yeah,
And
like
then 3 months later doing Secret
Spoiler
Wars.
alert, they're waiting for the Russo brothers
Yeah.
so they can do Secret Wars.
Yeah, as
That
much
is
as
who
even though
Feige-
Kevin Feige said, no, they're not. Bruh, stop.
That is who he knows in his heart is going to make that shit work.
And the Russo brothers have spoken up in several interviews about how they adore the X-Men and they adore Secret Wars. So their two favorite, the X-Men comic lines, and Secret Wars is one of their favorite comic issues. And I think having the Russo brothers on it is important. You know, during SDCC, Marvel put up there that it's going to be they put just Secret Wars, not part 1, just Secret Wars. There's no way you tell Secret Wars in one movie. And the Russo brothers talked about that. They said in order for Secret Wars to be done, it's going to have to be a 2 to 3 part film. So
Yeah.
I don't hold your breath on it being in 2025. I think it still comes, but it comes in like early 2026 because they would have to film those movies at the same time. They're not doing that. They're just not. They're not doing that.
Yeah, no, especially just scheduling all the big actors they've got and everything. It's just too much time, especially for how long those films need
Yeah,
to be.
it would have, and it to have it be done justice, it has to be. I agree with Kevin Feige. Does it have to be bigger and better and better? You know, yes, in a way, it does need to be bigger than. It doesn't need to be bigger in scope than in Infinity War and Endgame, but it needs to be bigger in I guess what we are expecting as the fans, because you can look at Endgame and Infinity War and they're great, but in order to do Secret Wars, it has to be on a much grander scale than Infinity War and Endgame. You have to take that Infinity War and Endgame and literally up that shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you have
upgrade
to.
it. Stamina MC said Oscar Isaac acted his tail off. He made me care about his characters, which I was never gonna do if I was just watching him punch faceless drones for weeks on end. Right. No, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like the way he portrayed Moon Knight and everything, it's like he makes us understand the way he is. And it's like we may not see it now, but it's like whenever we get Moon Knight season 2 or we get his next cameo of whatever he's doing, we're gonna understand why season 1 was the way it was.
Right.
Joey Z said the creator Neil Gaiman was the executive producer of the show, and so that explains why there's scenes and dialogues pulled straight from the comics.
Right. Stamina
MC said Into the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man project. Anyone that disagrees, we got a knuckle.
Yeah, that. Like I said, a lot of people think that too. It is. I love Into the Spider-Verse. It is.
No, I love it's so.
Man, I can watch that. It's for me. That's one of those
just like
timeless ones.
Vibe.
Yeah, it's such a
such
vibe, bro. The music, the soundtrack, the voice acting, the acting. I love the way that. Again, you know how I am about representation.
I'll probably go home and rewatch it today. Now that we're bringing it up and talking about it, I probably will rewatch it tonight.
Yeah, I love how Miles is represented. I love how you pull from his Hispanic culture as well as the black culture, and I love how you get to see how he is different from Peter. You know, even though a lot of people like to say, and I'll agree to an extent, that is Miles Morales basically just Peter Parker? Yes, he is, but there's differences there.
They're
in
the
two.
same character, but they've been. Let's say they were brought up different.
Yes,
that's how I look at it. Like they're essentially the same character, but you're seeing what Peter Parker would be if he grew up in a different community, as a minority community, or something like that.
Yeah.
Mano said, do y'all think we will ever get Worldbreaker Hulk on screen? I pay to see that. We were talking about that earlier. We fucking hope.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about during the She-Hulk reaction, is that we hope that the rumor is that Hulk is going to revert back to Savage Hulk at the end of this, and that Scar, his son, if you know the comic runs from Planet Hulk and World War Hulk and all that stuff. Hulk has a son, and his son is Scar, and Scar is supposed to show up at the end of this. So all this takes place during Ragnarok. What stuff we didn't see while Hulk was on Ragnarok, when Thor showed up and said, "Oh, he's a buddy from work." Like there was a whole time period there, and you even heard the Grandmaster say, "Time works differently here on Sakaar." So you don't know how because some people are saying, well, how old is his son? Time works differently on Sakaar. It's different. So
like dog years.
Yeah. So seeing Scar show up at the end, if that rumor is true, we should be getting that back. And we talked about having them doing World War Hulk, because Mark Ruffalo definitely deserves that.
Johnny said, remember when Civil War dropped the teaser of Spider with the cap shield? We had no idea Marvel and Sony were working behind the scenes. I think they're going to pull that same move on us again for Secret Wars with Miles Morales.
Yes.
There's definitely potential because there's so much that you need Miles. You do need him.
You need him.
I was gonna say,
for that Secret War story, he is one of the
You
most
need him.
intricate parts of that Secret War story. You have to have him there. I mean, it's his universe that collides
That's
with
what I was about to say.
the
You
main
need him.
616. So, yeah, you definitely have to.
But that's going to be so dope watching that third animated film if he just randomly jumps into like a live action.
I'm telling
that's
you.
going to be so fucking dope.
I really just think that's the way they're going. I just don't see, because that movie also made a bill.
Yeah.
I just don't see Sony saying, damn, Sony had 2 bills. I don't see Sony, because they got that with No Way Home also. I don't see them, did No Way Home make a bill?
It had to have.
I think it did.
I'm not even going to check that. It had to have.
I just don't see them leaving. They're not retelling that story live action, bro.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah, Mano said I agree. One of the best Spider-Man stories told on screen. Yeah,
For sure.
I can't wait to see the trilogy or the next 2 movies. Just
Me either,
because
especially
of how
with-
good that first one
Yeah.
is, and knowing what, just all the, I don't know. Maybe I'm overhyped knowing what they could do, but it's just.
Well, not only that, we saw some of the concept art. We're getting
Yeah.
Spot. And Spot is a lesser-known Spider-Man villain, but he is a dope Spider-Man villain. You think
Dope.
about that, bro. If you watch the
I looked
90s,
into
go
him
back and
after we got
watch.
that.
Go home. You have Disney Plus. Go to that specific episode of the 90s episode or the 90s
The 90s
Spider-Man.
animation.
When he fights Spot, it's so dope because it's like, if Spider-Man punches, bro, you're punching into wherever the fuck
I was
he
gonna
wants you
say,
to
yeah.
punch. It's like you're not. So, and you saw that in the concept art. His foot was going through Spot, but coming out another hole to hit Gwen. Like, he's such an Spider-Man has a lot of villains like that though that are underrated. I think we're gonna see a lot of them in freshman year. We
That's
saw
what I
a
was
lot
about
of the
to
villains.
say,
Yeah,
'cause-
he has a lot of villains that are underrated that.
Because
Can kick
it
his
looks like
fucking
I was about to
ass.
say it looks like they want to do a lot with freshman year,
Yeah,
which makes sense because I mean
it's not our universe though.
I mean that's why I said it makes sense because almost every animation they've done, I mean as much as we don't like What If won awards, What If it made money, so it's like every animation they've done it only makes sense for them to come and renew them and only pay the closest of attention to them.
Right. Yeah, they've got a lot going on with the animation there. It's not just with that, but we forget X-Men 97. They still got a lot going on there with X-Men 97 and their animation team there. So
Yeah. Last comment before we get to the tier list. Raymond 2000 said people want to see a live action Miles Morales despite what some film pundits may say.
and
Yeah,
that
no.
and that's some man again. Raymond, you've been here. You know how I am about my black superheroes. You know how I am about representation. I want to see a black Spider-Man live action on screen. He's already proved in his animation that he can hold an audience with
I was about to
$1
say.
billion. So yes, we need to see him on screen.
With just the animation, you wouldn't made a bill. Like,
Yeah, like come on, he's already proved that. Like put Miles on screen.
imagine how much he's gonna like. Don't bring him, and it's good. Don't bring him in now.
Yeah.
Don't bring him in when everyone's hating on Phase 4.
And that's
5,
what
or
I think. That's what
anything.
Feige's doing.
Bring him in whenever you know this storyline is crucial, and ever dropping him in the story is gonna be like, holy shit! Like, no way Feige did this shit again.
And that's
Like,
I think that's why Feige went over to Sony and said, "Can y'all slow the fuck down? Can you stop trying to rush shit, trying to build this Spider-Verse? Like, if we're gonna have this relationship, I don't know, I'm paraphrasing. I'm just saying
Yeah.
if I'm Feige, if we're gonna have this relationship and we're working together as Marvel and Sony, bro, we're moving towards Secret Wars. Obviously, you guys have one of the main characters that we need. Can you slow the fuck down
Yeah.
so we can build this shit? Like, yeah, I get it. And Sony has said that I think Madam Web's gonna play some role in all of this, though. Not because Madam Web, they've said is supposed to be their Multiverse of Madness. It's Sony's version of Multiverse of Madness, and it's supposed to be jumping into different universes and different this and different that. A lot of people have said, I think you guys, we didn't put this video up, but we did talk about it last week. Some set photos leaked for Madam Web, and the set photos that leaked were the Daily Bugle from Sam Raimi's time as Tobey Maguire's universe, and then there was a headline next to that newspaper that said man saves girl from a fire. And if you remember, in Spider-Man 2, he did that. And Spider-Man 2 takes place around 2004. There was that poster of Beyonce's Dangerously in Love album cover that came out in 2003. So people are trying to connect those time frames and saying like, oh, I'm not getting my hopes up because Sony has shit on me before. Sony's pissed in my fucking shit before. But I do hope that there is some connections there. But we're gonna jump into this tier list really quick here. We're gonna jump into the tier list. We're just going to do Phase 4. We're not going to do all the others here. We're just going to do the Phase 4 stuff. We're just ranking Phase 4. We would love for you guys to engage with us in the comments while we're doing this. Let us know what you guys think. What's some of the top stuff or some of the stuff you hated the most from Phase 4? What'd you think about Phase 4?
Don't rank these like overall. This is just what would be an A or an S in Phase 4 as what's the worst in Phase 4. This isn't just overall Marvel. We're just going to focus on
just Phase 4.
Phase 4 today, so we can try and pick out some good of it because there has been some good in Phase 4.
There has
as much as people don't want to admit it.
There has been some good in Phase 4. So let's see here. We'll start with WandaVision because it was the first thing for Phase 4 here. Now, for me personally, WandaVision is S, bruh. Wanda, for me personally, actually, I would say A or S for me, honestly, because
I'm fine with either.
It's one for me where I will go back and I will rewatch WandaVision. I have gone back and I have rewatched WandaVision.
If you go back and rewatch it, it only makes more sense.
Yeah.
Too. Like going back, I haven't rewatched it probably as much as you because I think I've only rewatched it maybe 3 or 4 times. But it's like every time I go back and rewatch it, you notice something to pick up on that you probably didn't notice the first or second time. So it's like, and it's actually enjoyable too. Once I actually enjoy the first 2 episodes now that they're gray and everything, and I know where it progresses to. So I wouldn't put it in S just because it wasn't my favorite, but I put it in A.
Yeah, WandaVision for me, I absolutely adored. I adore the Scarlet Witch. I think that Elizabeth Olsen does an amazing job, and I thought that show was great, and I love the Young Avengers. So getting to see Billy and Tommy actually fucking using their power, seeing Billy, fucking Wiccan Billy is tough, bruh. So getting to see him do some of the things that he was doing like his mom, I'm like, man, we're getting toward the Young Avengers. We're seeing some of them. That's really cool. Seeing Wanda. And I love witchcraft and magic and stuff like that. Like my favorite season of American Horror Story was the Coven season. Like I love fucking witchcraft and shit like that. So seeing Agatha and seeing all that, I thought that shit was dope. So for me, I guess we'll put it in the A. Put it in the A category.
But for Phase 4, it probably has been S because it's top 3.
Yeah, that
Phase
is true.
4.
That is true.
It's
that
top
is true.
3 Phase 4. So
that is
we can go ahead
right.
And put it up there.
Let's see here. So let's go with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Jesus Christ. For me, Falcon and Winter Soldier I adored the Dora Milaje scenes, especially when they, the scene when they showed up and, she said the Dora Milaje go wherever the Dora Milaje find themselves to be, or the Dora Milaje have jurisdiction wherever the Dora Milaje find themselves to be. I thought that was dope. I thought all the stuff with getting to see Patriot again, the Young Avengers stuff, getting to see who's going to be Patriot moving forward, or seeing Elijah and seeing our grandfather's name, Isaiah, seeing Elijah and Isaiah. I thought that was it was dope. It was dope. See, I like that stuff. The stuff I didn't like with Falcon and Winter Soldier was everything else. I thought that everything else with the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I know that was due to COVID. COVID shit on Falcon and Winter Soldier, and they had to rewrite all this stuff and all that and all this. Man, then push it back.
Yeah.
Push it back. And try something because you rushed it, and that's kind of what David Zaslav was saying. Again, Marvel's in a position to where they can do that and get away with it, but that's why David Zaslav was saying we're not going to rush project, we're not going to put something out before it's done, we're not going to put something out that's not high quality. And to me, Falcon Winter Soldier was Marvel saying quantity over quality.
Yeah, for me, I don't know, I liked it more so because as I always say, I'm kind of more the emotional viewer, so every time there's some emotion on screen, it kind of pulls me in more. And so seeing how Sam has to deal with being cast into this role that he doesn't really want to accept or anything, but he knows it's probably for the best because he's seeing what someone else is doing with it and everything. And then we just get to see him go back and have that relationship with the first black whatever it's called and everything. So it's like seeing all that, and then seeing how, like you said, the Dora Milaje scene was really tough for me, but seeing how Zemo kind of went around and operated everything too, I just think it's not rememberable. Like, it's not memorable in any way.
Memorable.
But if I go and put an episode on, like, I don't mind watching it. If I'm being so honest,
The only episode I will go back and rewatch is the episode that the Dora show up.
that's the thing. I don't go back and rewatch it. If I were to do it, it's like I don't mind watching it. Like, it's not bad. It's just not good enough to go rewatch, or it's not memorable to where you can pick and pull these special scenes from it and everything. So I'd put it in D, maybe even E.
Yeah,
Get rid
man.
of the E. Just put D and F. We won't even reuse that. I'll put it in D.
Yeah, I'd say D too. It wasn't for me. Like I said, I know COVID and everything.
Comments said it was rushed, but at least it didn't get canceled. But they could have pushed it back too, because they did. COVID. That was one of the shows that COVID fucked up hard.
No, COVID did.
I think it was maybe that and Loki, but they came out with Loki fine. Probably, I don't know if that was writers or something, but
yeah. Well, that was Michael Waldron doing the writing for Loki, who's he did the writing for, I believe, WandaVision and Doctor Strange.
Stam MC. Falcon and the Winter Soldier I enjoyed in real time, but I've never gone back to it. The Door were amazing. Flag Smashers were ultimately pointless. Isaiah Bradley was the MVP. The power broker reveal was booty juice.
Yep, that's the same shit. As far as some of my favorite things, Isaiah Bradley. Yeah, bro, Isaiah was the MVP of the show. That's why. Yeah, that was the best part for me. Also, the doors. Everything else, I don't care. Like he said, the Flag Smashers, that shit was pointless. Yeah, and again, they changed a lot.
That's why it's the main villain of that show was just so pointless and everything. But hopefully, that's why. The one thing I do go back to that show is I personally do still think that Sharon's gonna end up being a Skrull or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing too. Another scene that I really, really, really like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I actually go back. Like, when I go back and watch something from Falcon Winter Soldier, it's never going back to watch an episode. Like, I'll look up on YouTube the Dora scene, or I'll look up on YouTube this scene. Like, this scene that I really love is the scene where Sam just learns about Isaiah, and they're coming out of Isaiah's house, and Bucky's behind him and trying to talk to him, but they're having a heated argument. Conversation, and the police pull up and think that they're just two regular dudes on the street having an argument, but they go to ask Bucky, the white guy, is he bothering you? Da 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 da. And then Bucky says, "Do you not know who this is?" And he's like, "Oh, the Falcon. I'm so sorry." Like, I love that because during that time we were also in the movement of Black Lives Matter, and there were a lot of people on Twitter and other spaces that weren't understanding what they were trying. Again, COVID fucked it up, but what the point that they were trying to get across with Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was deeper than just seeing Bucky and Sam muddle through their differences in therapy or whatever, and him taking on the shield. It was a black man taking on the shield. It was, and that was why Isaiah was there, and why that was important. That's why Isaiah said they will never let a black man be Captain America or wear this or carry that shield or whatever he said. And it's just seeing. I love that. Again, that's why I like that scene so much, because it was showing the audience during that time. This is what black viewers, black people go through daily, and it took them having to say that's Falcon for the police to say, "Oh, okay. I'm sorry." And again, I really like that. I thought those were tones they wanted to carry out throughout the whole season, but again, COVID just fucked up a lot of the shit. So
D is good for that. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was meant to come out first, you'll recall. WandaVision actually came out first because they worked mostly in studio lots, whereas Falcon and the Winter Soldier did more location work that the Pandy messed with. Raymond 2000. Maybe that's why some people of a particular ethnic group don't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The social cues. I mean, they're writing.
That's true. That's why. Because again, I got into an argument with someone on my personal Twitter on during that time because he didn't understand the scene. He was like, well, Falcon or Captain America's not black. Bro, that's not the point that's being made here. You're missing the point that's being made. The point that's being made is, he can carry the shield. Like, like you said, it was the writing. That's why different ethnic groups didn't vibe with it. The same reason different ethnic groups didn't vibe with Miss Marvel.
Yep. Stamina MC, that specific cross section of the fandom got so revulsed by that Bucky and Sam scene. Oh my god, that was so forced. Politics, yada yada.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, bruh. But it was one of my.
Every time.
Yeah.
It's like that's what they like to make the norm. So.
Yeah. So moving on from there, Loki again for me, I would put Loki in A. I would put Loki in A. I think that's just where it just
goes.
Wait
for season 2.
I thought Loki was great. I really did. There were maybe that one episode of them on the train and Loki being drunk and him singing the song and them getting kicked out and lost on that whatever planet or wherever they got lost and kicked out at. That was probably the slowest episode. Yeah. But after that, nothing else was really slow. I thought the episodes were really good. I thought Loki was really well done. I thought that Tom Hiddleston, again, he is Loki.
Fans love him.
Yes,
and
I love Tom Hiddleston as Loki.
Why we do, just because he's everything. It's just like I don't know. It's like that's Loki.
He is Loki.
I was about to say
Sophia DiMartinez.
I love Sylvie.
She is Sylvie.
I love even the little shit down to the missed minutes like that, but I think the coolest shit in that was seeing all the Loki variants, in my opinion, seeing all the possibilities. Another Young Avengers with the kid Loki and everything.
Yeah.
It's fun seeing like what Loki was like in all these universes, worlds, and everything, like past time, future time. So
and I loved classic Loki. Loki because it was so dope when he said, some us Lokis, we don't know our true potential. You don't know what you're really capable of. You don't know what you can really do. And I thought that was great. Again, for me, I loved the whole mystery during the season around the timekeepers. Are these the timekeepers? Are these androids? And as we got closer, finding out that they were androids and that behind this whole thing, Kang's manipulating all of this. It was beautiful, and I love. I will go back and watch this on YouTube quite often, because I'm a villain person. I love the villains. Villains for me make shit. So it's like when Loki got pushed back into wherever the fuck he is, because that's obviously not the time stream he was in or the timeline he was on. When he's like, he's coming and he's panicking and he knows everything, he's terrifying, he's the one behind, and then they're like, what are you talking about? Who are you? Like, what are you, an analyst? What's your department? And then Loki turns around and sees Kang. Bro, that was one of the best endings to a show.
That's what I was just about to say. Loki probably has my favorite cliffhanger.
It was so good
in a while.
It was so good, especially for those of us that know Kang, that know this motherfucker is gonna fuck them up, man. I cannot wait to see Kang on screen. Like, again, to add to that, hearing and seeing the leak thing from Quantumania when Ant-Man says, "Hey, buddy, you don't want to fight me. I'm an Avenger," and he goes, "Have I killed you before? Which one have I? That's
which one are you?"
Yeah, bro. That's I love that. I love that. So I thought Loki was great.
No, I love Loki, and I think that was just a time where Loki came and hit, and we got to see like all the. I don't think any fans were expecting. Not really like us on the channel necessarily, but like just normal MCU fans or anything were expecting to get Majors as Kang or anything, just because I think they're just waiting to see who the big bad. I don't think they're expecting the big bad to be introduced so early or anything.
Right. Because I kept saying, no, Kang's not showing up. Kang's not showing up. Kang's not showing up.
Yep.
I mean, now, granted, it wasn't Kang himself, but when he gave them that whole spill in the office,
his dialogue was some Kang shit. He was running down.
It was so good.
It's like, you think I'm evil?
Yeah, he's like, wait till you meet one of my variants.
Chuckling a little bit and shit. It's
man.
Major's gonna play him so well.
So good. I can't wait for that one. So, what are some of the comments there before we move?
Stamina MC said Loki was dope. Episode 3 was slow, but I give it bonus points for not ending with a massive CGI light fest.
I think episode 3 was the one I was talking about. Yeah, that one was the slow one.
Johnny Washington, Loki by far my favorite material of all of Phase 4. Give me a Loki movie fighting Kang through time. That would be cool, just to see him fighting more variants through time and everything.
That would be dope.
Stamina MC Raymond said the rest of shows except Miss Marvel are mid, a waste of my time and attention.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people feel that way about season 4.
I can respect that opinion because that's not, you share that with multiple people.
Yeah.
Mano said, is it just me or Marvel was forcing female characters more harder in this phase 4? I never really look into that shit. Just because in the comics there's female there's woman characters, there's man characters, and in honestly, what we've gotten throughout history has been man dominated. So I'm not one of those men who look at a movie and I'm hurt because a woman is stronger than a man or something. So I mean, to answer your question, maybe yes, they have been adding more women to the roster and everything.
I was going to say yes.
They definitely have.
Yes, they have. They have been.
I'm not looking at it as like the misogyny type.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking at it in a misogyny type way.
I'm not opposed to it. Like,
and I'm definitely not opposed to it either. I think, but they have been taking male representation off of the screen.
That would be the one issue.
Somebody even pointed out Wakanda Forever. That's a female trailer.
I was gonna say
besides
that movie's gonna
second
be
of M'Baku.
That movie's gonna be woman dominated,
right?
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and and that's not sitting here saying, "Oh my gosh, this conversation is now deep rooted in misogyny." No, fuck off.
Yeah, no,
that's not what it is. I love Carol Danvers. I love Monica Rambeau. I love. There's so many other female superheroes like Jane, comic Jane.
Bro, I'm about to love She-Hulk. I'm already knowing. Like,
man,
I'm about
there's
to love
so many
She-Hulk.
female superheroes that
I'm gonna
are
love
dope.
Cleo whenever we get Cleo with Doctor Strange and everything. There's so much shit that I love and everything. So,
yeah.
I mean,
so stop the shit with it being deep rooted in misogyny. Ain't got shit to do with that bullshit.
Stamina said, unfortunately, it's not just you. Forcing is a bit much, in my opinion. Yeah, see, there are more women in there should be. It won't always be like this, so I don't mind what they're doing currently. Exactly.
And see that's a good way to put it too. I would say that too. I wouldn't necessarily use the word forcing. I would more so use the word as these are characters that they need to be using. These are characters are part of their IP. That would be that'd be like us. That's like on the other side of the conversation how we're screaming recast T'Challa because we want to see T'Challa on screen. There are people that want to see Carol. There are people that want to see Miss Marvel. There are people that want to see these other female heroes. And when you take that off the screen, you're not doing your IP justice. So no, I wouldn't say about forcing, but definitely for sure.
I won't be surprised. Or Johnny Washington said, I won't be surprised if Loki shows up in Ant-Man 3. It would actually make sense. It would and it wouldn't, just because Ant-Man already has so much shit they got to get to with his daughter, with Cassie, with his wife and everything. So I think a cameo. Yes, I do see what you're saying.
Yeah, as a cameo, I was gonna say I see what he's saying there as a cameo because I feel like Loki's gonna be that one now because Loki's at this point, besides possibly Janet Van Dyne,
he's the only one
from the plot leak. Knowing that she met Kang in the quantum realm, he's the only one outside of the quantum realm and besides Sylvie that knows who Kang is. So
you think he's gonna be the one that
he could be the one that's going around telling people like, listen, bruh, we got to like
now, but
he's gonna be
there's this bad motherfucker coming.
He's gonna be like how Hulk showed up in the beginning of Infinity War. Like he's coming, and they're like who? Thanos, you know. Yeah, I think Loki's going to be that one that's like, bro, he's coming, he's dangerous, he's scary, he's fought all of you somewhere else, so he knows you. Right now. Yeah, so.
If you see that.
Is it? It's moving on mine.
Oh, no, it is on my laptop. Yeah, we're good.
So
Cornelius dropped the 100. It's nice to see you, Cornelius. Appreciate the appearance. I know you're here every Sunday. Glad to see you checking in.
As far as this shit, I'm
at the bottom.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not even what is question mark? Is that bad?
Yeah.
No, I'm putting it. I don't
that shit in question mark for what the fuck? Why the fuck did y'all put this out?
This man, Black Widow would have probably been the reason Black Widow wasn't good to me is the same reason Obi-Wan wasn't good to me. I know what the fuck happens. Yep. There's no stakes in this movie for me. What are the consequences of this movie? I know she dies.
They should have just, if anything, made it a series and focused on progressing Yelena as the next Black Widow or some shit. Man, that's ultimately what they wanted to do. They didn't do Taskmaster right. They fucked that. That is the worst MCU villain.
Don't even get me started on what they did to Taskmaster. That's why. Now, that's where what's his Mano 215. That's where I will say you forced
the
something
woman
there.
on that one. Yep.
Didn't need to be forced. That didn't need to. That change was so fucking unnecessary, and it was a change for the worse. Because you downgraded Taskmaster. Like you took arguably Widow's best villain.
No, not arguably.
And made it like, bruh, nah. I wasn't feeling Taskmaster at all.
I didn't really like that movie at all. Like, I personally like Yelena more in Black Widow than I did. I mean, not in Hawkeye than I did when she was in Black Widow and everything. I just didn't really like the writing.
There were parts of Black Widow that I did like. Like, I love David Harbour.
I like the family scenes.
Yeah,
Red Guardian and
yeah, Red Guardian,
and
David Harbour. I thought David Harbour was great as Red Guardian.
With each other.
Yeah,
those are the scenes I liked, like the family scenes and everything. But as to like the plot and the storyline of like her action and like what her story is in the MCU, like you said, we already knew it. And then I'm reading one of the comments that said it should have came out in Phase 2.
Yep.
And that's like, it just didn't need it in Phase. We didn't need it after she already died. I mean, I get to honor Scarlett Johansson and everything, and she deserved it, but like we've talked about earlier, Mark Ruffalo deserved it, and he ain't got shit yet. And his character is alive and well. So it's just... Yep. Maybe we can go back to Mano on that one where he's like forcing the females on.
Well, that's what. Yeah, he said that's what he meant.
What.
Yeah, he said that's what he meant. Yeah, so that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. What's that one from Raymond? Avengers.
Black Widow. Avengers Kang Dynasty might be Infinity War, but with Kang and the Guardians of the Multiverse. But I don't want the Guardians of the Multiverse without a T'Challa.
You know, I struggle so much. I here lately I've been, I guess, more easy on the whole multiversal T'Challa. I just struggle with that, man. I struggle with it just because I just don't see why we have to have a multiversal T'Challa. Like,
yeah.
Why can't he just be from 616? Because to me, now you have to have Wakanda accept this multiversal T'Challa. We don't know if he thinks the same way as our T'Challa. We don't know if he is the... Because as we've seen throughout the multiverse and Doctor Strange, if you read the comics, not just that, but in Loki, not every variant is the same. And I've said this before, I'm going to continue to say it. Earth 616 heroes are supposed to be the best of the best of them.
There's examples like we got 5 Stranges, and then like we just talked about Loki. We saw how many variants were in that, and obviously
Sylvie's different. They're the same, but they're different. I was gonna say
they're trying to teach this Loki how to be the best version of all of them. Mm-hmm. That's it. When we watch Doctor Strange and we see him going back talking to all the Stranges, they're trying to make him be like the best version of all of them, the shit that they weren't.
Right. See, that's why in Multiverse of Madness, that's why Strange, even when Wong said you have to take her power, Strange found another way because he's supposed to be the best of them. Even with who was it?
It kind of was Spider-Man.
With Loki.
Tom Holland said he's not sending... The Tom Holland Spider-Man said he's not going to send all the villains back. He's going to find a cure for all of them.
And with Loki. And with Loki. And the one with Loki is when Sylvie couldn't take down Alioth by herself. Loki came in there, tapped into... Because why? It takes that 616 hero. That's why our universe is the main universe. That's why it's the universe that sustains. Our heroes are just the best of them. But he did, just to go down to what he said there, I don't want a multiversal T'Challa either. I want Marvel to recast the one. Yeah, and I agree.
Yep. Mano said that's what I meant. Yeah, we touched on. Raymond 2000 said Black Widow is Marvel's Wonder Woman 84. Trash. and then someone went on to it. Where did he say? I'll find it in a minute. I'll just go down the list. And they said, I'm sorry, but they pandering Taskmaster. That's a fact. That's what he said. Johnny Washington said Black Widow is that. My fault. Mano 15, again, not coming off as a sexist. No, we're definitely... Don't ever think we're saying that or anything. We got our opinions. Your opinion. That don't
Wait,
mean
where are you at? Oh, I see. I see.
He said, again, not coming off as a sexist. I just felt like a lot of characters was forced. No, because
I agree.
You're right. Like like I said, to answer your question, they are forcing.
And see, that's the thing, though, bro. Really, even when in these spaces, in these conversations, like this is the space to have that type of comment and that type of conversation, because people out there will take the comments you had and take it like, oh, well, you don't want a female. You're just you're like, it's not, bro. That's not it. That's like as a fan, I can't have an opinion. Like that's not it. So no. I know what you're saying, bro. It's not even that. So.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing every day, especially with the multiverse around. And then that's what they're talking about with the multiverse. Oh, it's T'Challa. Taskmaster sucked because Taskmaster sucked, not because they depicted as female. It just bore little relation to the character in the book. Give it another name / look and have at it.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say the changes made to Taskmaster were unnecessary.
Irrelevant.
You had a perfect villain that you ruined. There was no reason to make the changes that you made.
Avengers Kang, Raymond 2000 said, Avengers Kang Dynasty could pull some elements from the animated series Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That animated series is good.
It is good. That one is good. It is good.
Bit of it,
it's the only
couple days ago
newer Marvel animated thing that's really
that's
somewhat decent.
Not relevant, but that's good. Mano said Raymond 2000, but that's the only way it would make sense for the recast. Unfortunately, now it is. I mean, we don't know for sure. We've only seen plot leaks of Wakanda Forever, but unfortunately now the only way we're getting T'Challa.
Yeah, don't get me started. I'm not gonna get started on that. So, because I and not saying like to not coming at you. I'm just saying I can go on the recast.
Get this thing started.
Yeah, I can get started. So
Cornelius said the optimistic outlook on a variant T'Challa is yeah. We gonna move on to the next ranking in this because we're not gonna talk about T'Challa. We could go on. We'd be on here for another 3 hours.
Stamina
said +1 on not wanting a variant T'Challa. Needless storyline gymnastics to have them leave their universe, connect with the existing characters. Easy to see. It slow everything down because they shouldn't.
I'm saying,
Mano said
man.
Respect. Stamina MC said agree. Raymond EMH was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about the characters, especially from those seasons.
Yeah. I'm saying,
I
man,
agree.
it's unnecessarily fucking mental gymnastics you have to do with T'Challa. Like, it doesn't make sense. Shang-Chi, for me, I will put Shang-Chi at a B. This is just for Phase 4, right? So I'm going to put it at A.
I was going to say, I want to put it in the A.
Yeah, for Phase 4.
One of the best movies to come out.
For sure.
Right?
This is not
probably
overall.
the second best behind, and I mean, we'll get to it later, but yeah. No, Shang-Chi, it was well written. We got to see, like we talked about, Trey brings up all the time, we get to see just the Marvel Universe in the background of the main story and everything, where we have these extra little Wong and Abomination cameos and everything.
Yeah.
And then at the end, having...
It was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It was a great movie. The
action was good.
That fight scenes looked real.
That bus scene, man, that bus scene still holds. Like
I was gonna say that bus, the scene of his mom and dad where they met each other.
Oh my God, doing the fucking
so
airbending and shit.
Beautiful.
That shit was so cool.
That shit is beautiful.
Not just that, even the first
it's
opening.
Like a story behind the
yeah. The opening of the Mandarin coming on the horse against one, like it was just him against that whole. That was dope. Like when he jumped off the horse and did that, bruh. That shit was so cool. That shit was cool. It was cool. Again,
even the
Marvel
fight scene
always
with him and his sister. Whenever he gets there, he's like, hey, they're preparing him for battle and everything. He finds out he has to fight his sister and everything, and she's actually trying to kick his ass.
Yeah, like I said, Marvel always typically loses me on their third acts. The third act was a little. And the reason I say,
I just want to go back to Mano a little bit on forcing the women. There's no way his best friend Kate should have shot that arrow.
I was gonna say that too. That's the part for me. It was the part when she, an unexperienced, how do you say archer, shoots the demon dragon thing.
The main
I was just like that. So that's what I mean when I say Marvel's third acts. Like they always kind of fall for me. I feel like they get to the third act. It's kind of like the Russo brothers. Like when they said, "Well, we just didn't know what to do with Hulk, so we made him Professor Hulk." They just don't know what to do with their third act. And it's like but it was good. It was definitely top tier Phase 4 for sure.
It was
for sure.
Says Shang-Chi was a A+. And then Mano said, definitely looking forward to seeing more of this character. No, I can't wait to see what Simu does with Shang-Chi and everything.
Bruh, his role in King Dynasty is going to be so big now. It's going to be so big now
that he has his director and everything.
Yep.
Boy.
Yep, it's going to be so big.
It might even get promoted in Secret Wars. He probably will have a bigger role in Secret Wars than he does in the comics and everything.
Yeah, no, Shang-Chi, I think we've got a long time with Simu Lee. I thought Simu Lee did an amazing job of portraying Shang-Chi. It was just a good movie. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I've seen it several times. I think I saw it in theaters like 3 times.
Yeah.
I've seen it at home several times. It was a good movie. So,
Stamina said he agrees on Act 3. Katie's hero moment plus Dweller in Darkness CGI
Yes.
overload did need to be there. Solid
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah,
That's
solid otherwise.
only
it's just
bad
it's just the
complaints
third
on it,
act.
really.
It's the third act where I was like, damn. Raymond said Shanky was cute. I think the rings are connected to Kang in some way. Possibly so. I know a lot of people were saying too that they might be thinking it's connected to Galactus or something out there in the cosmos. Don't know what that's speaking to, but maybe even Kang.
Said yeah. Cornelius said the 10 rings were probably Kangs.
Yeah, everybody's saying that 10 rings are probably Kangs. Yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah,
But we also saw the 10 Rings logo in Miss Marvel.
We did
as
see
well.
the 10
It was on
Rings
the
logo
floor or
in Miss
whatever.
Marvel.
So
there's a lot going on there with the 10 Rings. You know, I don't.
I couldn't tell you what.
Yeah, I
it
don't know
is.
what they're doing exactly, but they got a lot going on. Next is What If. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched the Doctor Strange episode because I thought it was gonna be essential to Multiverse of Madness. I watched the Star-Lord T'Challa episode. I watched the zombie episode. And I watched the last little finale with the Watcher and everything. Other than that, I didn't watch it. I was not feeling What If. I didn't like the animation.
I've seen the leaked trailer for season 2 though.
I have not seen the leaked trailer for season 2.
It looks like it's gonna have like an actual plot within it. It looks. I can send it to you whenever it looks.
Well, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that there's not a plan here. Like even
That's
with
what I was
this
gonna
whole
say.
like Marvel Zombies, like having the Marvel Zombies have its own show
But
and
it
having.
didn't feel like it had a plan. Season 1 at least. That's right.
Right.
Like every episode was just kind of a different little story, and then maybe towards the end, whenever we got the Strange Supreme with the Watcher and everything, that's maybe whenever we got into a little bit of plot. But the best moment from that was the Ultron shit. Seeing Ultron get
was
all
the best
the
from that.
That was personally what I like seeing. If I had to rank it, I'd put it in the F.
Well, you know, my attitude for What If has always been, what if we didn't do this? What if we put our energy and time and money and VF effects and all that type of shit or whatever, animation into something else? Why the fuck are we doing What If? Why are we taking a comic storyline that is literally not important to the chronological stories in
why
Marvel?
try to establish another universe?
Yeah,
Like,
so, you know, it just, for me, I was like, okay, What If?
you can
You
put
know?
it down there, Black Widow. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, What If for me, it was just, we'll do F.
I was gonna say, it just had those couple episodes that I did enjoy watching. That were just like, damn, this shit is actually kind of cool. But as for the total What If title, don't really care for it.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't the best. Like I said, the best episode for me was the Star-Lord T'Challa episode because again, we got to see T'Challa be T'Challa outside of the mantle that everyone's so fucking worried about. So I thought it was
My
really
favorite episode.
good to see.
Definitely seeing Strange actually get some fucking credit or fucking shit to do, because everything he does in live action is just so boring compared to like picking up any of these comics in front of me. Like picking up any of these, you're gonna get Strange doing some action packed shit, and it's just like he's been the backhand in everything he's been doing recently. So it's just seeing what he did in What If and everything, and the potential with him. That shit was just. It was mind-blowing to me just to see it in an animation that didn't look too bad. Raymond 2000 said, What If was so boring, why are we getting more? Yeah.
Like I said, what if we didn't do it?
What if, Stamina said, what if belongs above Black Widow? The eps were too damn short and followed the Prime timeline too closely to be worthwhile to me. It looked great, but the voice acting quality varied a great deal. There was some very good voice acting in that, and then some very lackadaisical, but T'Challa's voice acting in that was that was great. Benedict's was good, and then
The kid playing Spider-Man, he did good.
yeah, I was about to say that wasn't even Tom. Tom Holland said he's not going to be.
Yeah,
back
no,
for
he's
that
not
either.
voicing
Which
it.
I mean, think about that though. If Tom Holland's telling you like he doesn't have time to do this shit, like it doesn't matter to him. Like that should tell you like this What If shit probably don't matter to most of the actors doing it.
Like the whole premise.
Unless it's
with,
just like you
with
don't
whatever.
have. I don't want to not shit on those, but I don't want to talk down on those people who actually put like they're all into What If, because I mean it won awards. I mean everything Marvel is winning awards though and everything. So I mean it's not bad. It's just not my cup
Well,
of
like I
tea.
said, the premise behind of what they're doing, the important shit, Marvel Zombies, that cartoon, that just plays an important role in Secret Wars. There's the whole zombie part of the battle world that, I forget who it was that Doom shoved down there to the zombies. Like, if somebody defied Doom and he was just like...
That T'Challa fucking leads. 'Cause he's
Yeah.
the king of the dead.
Like, it's just... man, there's... Yeah, so... What
Cornelius
if...
said, how dare... Or did I read that one already?
I don't think so.
What if belongs above black? I did read that one. Cornelius said, how dare you. Mano
You
said...
Are you a What If fan, Cornelius? Did you like What If?
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully...
What did Mano say?
Mano said, but I totally understand from a marketing perspective on why Marvel is pushing for female screen presence. They are trying to capitalize on the next generation of younger girls. I mean, that and we, like with phase 1, 2, and 3, we just didn't get much women representation and everything. So, I mean, bringing the actual character, it makes sense if it makes sense to bring these actual woman characters into the field and everything, I don't see why not. Now, what we all agree on is it doesn't make sense, like the shit they did with Taskmaster or like Katie, and just the small little things that don't make sense. It's like you don't really need to be doing those, but the like She-Hulk and all the characters that are actually making sense to the storylines and everything, completely fine with. Johnny Washington said I'm reading Courtney. The logic of What If didn't make sense to me. When Ultron got the stones, they shouldn't had work across the multiverse like it did according to Marvel logic on the Infinity Stones.
Yeah. Well, Cornelius, I am so glad that you did. I like I said, I have my thoughts on What If, but Eternals. We kind of already said earlier our thoughts on Eternals. You know, for me, it's another one that lost me during the third act. But I will put Eternals, for me personally, I'll put it next to Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'll take that. I was going to put it in C just because, but I like it more. I know I like it more than most people and everything. So, but I can accept it in a D, but it's just misunderstood in my opinion. And it's not, I think it's just better for the grand scheme of things to tell that and have everyone understand why Thanos did what he did, kinda, and let that be the progressive point in that story.
Right.
But I mean, not too much to talk because we did talk about it.
Yeah, we did talk about that one, so there's really not much to go on there. The next one there is Hawkeye.
I don't even want to talk about that shit.
But
I don't want it because Kate Bishop if it was just Kate Bishop, A+. Like I don't like she played that character well and everything. So, but Hawkeye as a total show, the point of what Clint was
I gotta
doing
put it down there with What If.
I was about to say the point of what Clint was doing and everything with how much screen time he took, the leaks we got I know it's like we should never believe leaks too much, but the hype that it had some potential with it and everything. Just so they didn't give Kingpin anything.
The only episode that was good was the third episode, and it really centered around that whole chase scene in the car. Like that was like that whole thing, and then on the bridge with the different Pym particle the different
arrows,
Pym tech arrows and things like that. Like that shit was dope. Other than that, like I thought Kingpin was like why bring Kingpin in to just have him, like, I don't know, I thought Kingpin was underused, honestly.
Yeah, like Yelena hunting Clint was
I thought that was really dumb, bro. I didn't like Yelena hunting Clint because so you're going off of what Dreyfus told you. Dreyfus told you, oh yeah, this is the man, you want to get the man. Like, bro, so you're telling me that by the time Natasha dies, there's nobody talking about how heroic Natasha was by giving her life on Vonmir or whatever the fuck it was. I think it was Vonmir. It was. Like just kind of like in Multiverse of Madness, how they had a statue, either though it was a facade and a lie, but they had a statue dedicated to that Stephen Strange's dedication to Infinity War. So you're telling me no one's talking about, oh, Natasha gave her life so that we could live. It never made sense for Yelena to be going after Clint. It never made sense in my opinion.
It didn't. No, even the final scene, I just didn't like any of it really. The only thing I liked about that was the cast as Kate Bishop.
Yeah, I think.
I just hope to see her in young something other on her own.
No, well,
soon.
she did an interview where Haley Steinfeld. She did an interview.
I saw that with
I don't remember who it was with, but Kevin Feige was sitting behind her, and they asked her about the Young Avengers, and she turned and looked at Kevin Feige, and he didn't say anything.
Someone
He
was
just gave a
talking
look.
about her, and she was like, "I know our characters interact a lot in the comics or whatever, so it'll be interesting." I just can't remember who was in that interview.
Yeah, Feige gave her a look, and she would just turn back around and was like, I don't know. I think maybe, but they know, So we know the Young Avengers are coming, and like Cornelia said, D'Onofrio's suit. Yeah, they made Kingpin so much bigger, and things like which I didn't mind him being bigger, but the suit was goofy looking. It just, man, like I said, Hawkeye was just a major miss for me.
They do unnecessary stuff sometimes,
and they tried to hype Hawkeye up, bro. Like with the promotion, they were trying to hype Hawkeye up, and it just wasn't.
You're
it wasn't good.
You're not gonna want to miss this episode.
It wasn't good.
I think I'd be okay if I do.
And I'm putting Hawkeye in the F. It wasn't good.
Man, Hawkeye was such a disappointment. Didn't even finish watching the season. Yeah. I did because I have to, but I can't. I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't have because it was boring. Stamina MC said Hawkeye is another one I won't go back to. Though fun in real time, Clint kind of played second fiddle in his own show, and the drawn-out Kingpin reveal was annoying. Such a waste. Tracksuits were idiots. Kate was cool and whatnot, but she didn't really go through enough before being so readily accepted. Clint has seen things kill people. Her probation period was too short for my liking.
And this is what happens when you limit your series to 6 episodes.
Yep.
That's what happens when you don't do a full series. You're not able to have character progression. You're not able to really have that. That's why Disney Plus shows, Marvel Disney Plus shows, do good in the beginning because we're introduced to things, but then when you're wrapping it up, it's like, wait a minute, there's so many unanswered questions, so many shit that's not done, so much shit that you should have had maybe a 12 to 15, 13, 14 episodes in a season. So yeah, I agree there completely.
Cornelius, I mean, his neck was so small, but his bodysuit made him look goofy.
Yeah.
No, I was about to say, that's the thing. His neck and his legs just look too small for the bodysuit to look accurate or anything.
And the next on that list is No Way Home. Now, when I left No Way Home, man, I saw No Way Home in the theater a lot. And I am I will be seeing No Way Home again in a month, in the fun version that they're releasing. Yep. I will definitely be there for that shit. I cannot wait to see that. I just want to have fun with Marvel again. I want to go back into the theater, and I want to sit down and not prep myself for a funeral. I want to sit down and I want to watch Spider-Man, and I want to see some of the shit that was cut, some of the things that they're keeping, what's in this, what's different, I want to see all that. I enjoyed No Way Home a lot. I enjoyed seeing my favorite Spider-Man villain, Doc Ock, come back, and Alfred Molina, who crushed that shit. I wish that the story, as I've gone back and rewatched No Way Home, I wish that he wouldn't have been so quickly, his mind control wouldn't have been taken off.
He would have been a villain for longer.
Because he was giving it to Spider-Man on that fucking bridge, bro. He was getting, so I'm like, that was dope. I wanted to see that.
Spider-Man probably knew, I gotta fix this nigga first. This nigga fucking me up.
Yeah, he was fucking Spider-Man up. So I thought that No Way Home was great. I in the theater, I am a very sensitive person when it comes to movies, TV shows, whatever. I cry, and I was crying from the moment she died, the Aunt May died, to the end of the movie, especially when Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man. He is the definitive Spider-Man to me. So whenever he came on screen, it wasn't so much when he came on screen. It was when they went to talk to our Spider-Man.
They had that, yeah.
And they had their hearts to hearts, and he told him, he was like, I got bitter, I got rageful. He's like, I just don't want you to end up like me. And then when Spider-Man tried to tell him, like, no, you don't know. Our Spider-Man tried to tell him, like, you don't know. And he was like, okay. He just let it go. It's like, okay, you're right, I don't. But, bruh, I was like, Andrew acted his fucking ass off. He did such a good job. Man, that movie was good. It was a good movie. Again, not a perfect movie. It wasn't perfect, but it was great. It was great.
It was great. I think whenever you're doing so many things, it's hard to do a perfect film whenever you're not introducing, but just bringing back so much shit. And you do have this time crunch to where like you don't want to draw out the movie too long to where people won't be interested. But it's like it's hard to make a perfect film whenever you're doing so much. So,
But it was the most fun.
I was about to say I put it.
I hadn't had fun
at
like
the top
that.
of Phase 4. It was the best movie of Phase 4.
Oh yeah, it's definitely yes. I hadn't had fun like that since Endgame, No Way Home, or not No Way Home, Endgame, Infinity War. I hadn't had fun in a Marvel theater because man, when I saw Civil War, when I saw Wakanda Forever, the first Black Panther, Infinity War, and Endgame in theaters. That theater experience with the audience was wild, and that experience you were in the same theater with me with No Way Home. It was wild. During our theater experience, during the previews, after every preview, someone would yell, "We don't care, we just want Spider-Man!" And like people would scream and like clap, and like it was dope. It was fun. That's what a Marvel film is supposed to feel like for me. And I just thought, again, anytime Spider-Man's in any type of anything, I'm there. I'm for Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. So I thought that was fun. It was really, really, really fucking fun.
I had fun with it. Definitely top content of Phase 4 and everything. I had fun with it. It wasn't... When I was going back and rewatching it and everything, I think I was just trying to find too much to critique just to find something. But if you just watch it, I mean, that movie is simply everything. From action to emotional to happy to sad to... It's everything.
No Way Home it's man.
Raymond said No Way Home was the best Phase 4 film, and that wasn't even 100% Marvel. It was Sony and Marvel.
Yeah, it was definitely the best Phase 4 film.
Yeah, Stamina said No Way Home was my favorite cinema experience in years. Like others, it was flawed, but my lord, it was a thrill ride on the big screen. And no, that's what I'm saying. It had its flaws, but whenever it comes down to watching it for what it is,
I just rewatched it not too long ago.
The heartfelt moments in it, the actors, it's golden. It's
gold.
It's gonna age well. Shit's timeless.
It was great.
Stannis, he said it's only Sony on paper. They contributed nothing to how good that was except money/distro. Look to anything else with their logo on to prove that.
But I agree with that too. This is why you can look at Venom, you can look at Venom 2, you can look at Morbius, and you look at their fails because of the absent hand of Kevin Feige, the absent hand of Marvel. When you don't have Marvel helping them, that's why Kevin Feige went over there and said, "Bruh, stop. Slow the fuck down. Y'all are gonna ruin what you're trying to do."
Take hold of my hand.
Yes, it's like Kevin Feige saying, "Grab Papa Feige's hand, and I will guide you to the fucking promised land because you guys don't know what it is you're doing."
For shit on your own.
Yeah, so I will definitely agree with Stamina there. As far as No Way Home being a Marvel film, Sony might own Spider-Man, but without Marvel's hand, No Way Home is not that. It's not that. And Tom Holland will tell you that himself. There are interviews where this was not the original story. This was not the original plan to do this. Well, I'm not going to say it wasn't the original story because Andrew's known since 2018. They contacted him back in 2018, so he's known about it since then. But the story got reconfigured so many different times to where it was supposed to be a Kraven thing. They were going to do They were going to adapt Kraven's Last Hunt at one time. The story got changed a lot until Marvel finally stepped in and said, "Let's do this." Yeah. So yeah.
Mano said, "I agree. It was the best in Phase 4." Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt. Moon Knight. I'll honestly put Moon Knight at a C or a B.
I was gonna say I put it between C, B, so either one of those.
A C or a B.
Maybe move it whenever we see what else is left, but I put it in the B.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll put it in the B category just because of
Oscar
how well,
Isaac's
Oscar Isaac's brilliant performance, how well they executed on tapping into the mental health aspects of things. The visual effects of it, seeing like when we were in the afterlife, seeing Egypt, seeing all that, like Khonshu
all the CGI, I was about to
great.
Say, all the CGI on the gods look good.
Man, Khonshu looked great. Who was our main villain god? Why can't I?
Tawet.
Ahmet was great. Tawet was great. Yes.
Yeah, everything we saw was whenever we got the gods having their little meeting or whatever, and their
I would have wished it would have been the gods though instead of their avatars.
Instead of
I wish the gods
avatars
themselves would have been there.
Yeah, no, the TV show was definitely it hit the nail of the head exactly what it wanted to do. Like it didn't.
Yeah.
They came in saying this show is going to focus on the mental aspect. It's going to be a mental roller coaster. And
it
then-
didn't do anything that it wasn't trying
exactly.
to
It
not be.
established Moon Knight in the MCU.
Yeah.
Who he is. That's all it did.
Again, like that, the first time we see Khonshu, the elevator scene where he's in that elevator.
That
and
shit is...
Man, it's so
Khonshu's
dope.
voice. The
Khonshu's
second
voice.
you hear his voice,
Yes.
whenever he's like,
oh,
pick up
the
scare-
idiot's in charge again.
Pick up the scare.
The idiot's
That's
in charge
like ever
again.
since we get that, like Khonshu's probably like a very, after Oscar Isaac, probably the second bright spot of that show.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
He was just so. I think he even won it. He won an award like the best voiced animated character or whatever. So he.
Yeah,
that-
when he like the scene when he's holding it's Matt. I'm not sorry, it's not. It's Matt. Or Mark, sorry. Mark's holding that kid that's got Ramatut on the back of his jacket. He's holding him, and what did Khonshu tell him?
Fuck, what did he say?
I forget what he says, but then when the kid offs himself, Khonshu goes, "Oh, I didn't think he'd do that." It's like, bro, like it was dope.
Fuck, what does he say?
Even the scene, even the village scene when Haro was saying, "Give me the scarab," and Khonshu was like, "No, close your hand, don't give it to me." I was like, "That's so cool, bro." It was cool. It was cool. The only thing I'll tell you what I didn't like about Moon Knight, I did not like how easily what's her name became Tawet's avatar, and she came in there as the scarab, and she was like. I didn't like that.
I know what you're saying.
I wish Haro and Moon Knight's fight would have been more epic. In Egypt on top of the pyramids like that. I thought, yes, it was cool seeing Khonshu and even though Amit was whooping Khonshu's ass,
Whooping the shit out of Khonshu.
Even though it was cool seeing them fight, I really would have liked to have seen more fight from Moon Knight. We didn't really get to see. Like, we saw the Jackal scene with the whole moon disc and everything. That was dope. But I wanted to see him really fuck Haro up. And I wanted to see Haro fuck him up, too. I wanted to see it, I wanted to see them fight.
Just a little bit of longer.
Yeah. I wanted to see them fight. And it just really wasn't that. But the ending was tough.
It was so
The ending's where they brought me back in. Where I was like,
so
oh,
fucking
shit,
good.
man. That was...
That shit was where it made you like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, when are we gonna get this nigga again?
Yeah.
Like, we need Moon Knight back just because we realize, like, they might go this darker route with him still. Like, hold up. Like, he's not done.
It was dope. I liked it a lot.
Mano said, I agree. Or he said, Moon Knight, I give it B for being different, and Oscar. Yeah, I can agree on that.
Yeah.
Cornelius said Tefnut's avatar. I'm trying to remember which one Tefnut is.
I don't remember either. I know everybody was trying to do mental gymnastics trying to find out if Bast was going to show up because we were trying to make connections to Wakanda Forever and all that, yeah. But the next one on that list is Multiverse of Madness. And Multiverse of Madness was underwhelming for me. And the reason it was underwhelming is because there was no multiverse. I was waiting for... Oh, yes, I know who you're talking about now, Cornelius. I know exactly what you're talking about now. I was waiting for the madness. I was waiting for the multiverse aspect, and we went through the multiverse, but we went through the multiverse in 30 seconds, or a minute and 30 seconds, however long that little clip is. We didn't really get to see anything outside the multiverse besides 838, and I wanted so much more of the multiverse. I wanted so much more of... before we all went in, everybody was saying temper your expectations. This may not be, and as we got closer to the film and our breakdowns of it, we were saying that too to our audience that were watching. Temper your expectations. This may not be, because we were hearing Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's scene got cut, Ghost Rider's scene got cut, all these scenes were getting cut, and it was like, well, damn, well, what's still going on? So, for me, Multiverse of Madness was underwhelming for that aspect. It was underwhelming because I really would have liked a bit more Strange in his own film. I understand that he was sharing that with my favorite, Wanda, and that was really great. I liked seeing Wanda. Before I let Hugo, I will say this. My favorite thing with Multiverse of Madness, I just rewatched Multiverse of Madness, and if I go back and rewatch it, it's always for the Scarlet Witch. It's always for Wanda. Every scene that Wanda's in is fucking done brilliantly, bro. Bro, I said it in one of our breakdowns. I said, when we all had our desk here, when we had that one desk and Cody sat next to me, and Cody said, I don't know. I don't think she's the villain. I say, I damn guarantee you, when we watch the movie, that the flower
field,
she's gonna turn some shit off. And she did. Like, the minute she said, "You never told me about America," he's like, "No, I didn't." She's like, lying's the easy part. She's like, the hex is easy. It's the lying that I can't master. Then she lets all that shit go down. But the last thing she said to Strange was, and he said, "Well, what if I don't bring America to you? Then it won't be Wanda that comes first. It's gonna be the Scarlet Witch." That was the first tough fucking line she said. But then the whole dialogue at Camartage, when she said, you've exhausted my patience. She's like, "But I hope now, even now, I hope you understand that what I'm about to do, this is me showing mercy." And I'm just like, bruh, she decimated them. Like, she should.
Yeah,
she
no,
should
without
have.
a doubt.
And I was just like, it was just, I loved everything with Wanda. I loved all of that. But Strange is your favorite character, so obviously I know your thoughts on it, but let the people know what your thoughts are on Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness was not a Doctor Strange movie. Like, it was sent, like I said, I told you after we watched it, it was the last 3-4 episodes of WandaVision. And so how I viewed it was, I don't know, you pick up any of these comics, like, this nigga Doctor Strange is a arrogant asshole. Like, he's more of an asshole. Like, when he met Tony Stark in Infinity War in the MCU, like, he's an asshole. Like, he's just so full of himself because he's this surgeon that he completes these surgeries that only he can do and everything. Right. So he just has that confidence in himself. And so just to see yes, I did love Wanda's dialogue, but to see the way that Strange was kind of just getting bullied by her, like, it's like, bro, like, we know who you are, like, we know who you are and we know what you can do, and at the same time, we know you don't want to kill Wanda, we know you want to help her and everything, but at the same time, do you not see what this bitch is doing to you? Like, and what to your fucking, where you train your students, like, the lives she just took from you, and your counter to that is to still try to help her. Like, and like, I love Wanda myself and all, but this bitch just took countless students from Strange, from destroyed Camartage, fucked up hell, whatever and so it's just to see all that and to see how Strange retaliates as to, let's just help her so she doesn't do this, or she doesn't fuck up shit even more. Like, comic book Strange would have retaliated much, much worse, and he would have and that's whenever he went he would have realized, I need help. Like, he wouldn't have went to help to kill this bitch. Like, he'd be like, this bitch needs to go.
And for me, everybody's saying, like, oh, Wanda is a villain, and like, or Wanda has to suffer the consequences from the wider MCU. No, she doesn't. No, the fuck she doesn't. And the reason she doesn't is because if you look at Multiverse of Madness in the wider MCU's point of view, it's an isolated event that happens at Camartage.
She needs to suffer consequences from Strange himself, and I was gonna say, if they don't go that route where Strange is actually pursuing consequences on her whenever she actually does come back or some shit, like, if Strange is just okay with what she did and saving her life and everything, I don't know how I feel about that, because I know there's so much more shit they need to get into with Strange, and I don't want to be on this for too long or anything, but the movie was
it was okay.
Fuck.
It was again.
I put it with Moon Knight just because I love Stephen Strange, but holy fuck, that movie should have been an S. There's no doubt.
No doubt. I said it so many times during our breakdowns and during our reactions to things. I said, when we leave, and it wasn't that way. I said, when we leave the theater, we will be leaving in a changed MCU. Yes. And we were not we didn't leave in a changed MCU. It was the exact same.
I remember us saying, like, the MCU from after this movie is going to be forever different. And
it was not. Nothing changed besides nothing changed. Nothing changed at all. And I know people have said this, and I'm going to touch on this really quick, because Trey has said this. Trey has said that he doesn't like the Illuminati scene. Bruh, you want to know why the Illuminati scene does not bother me? Because, excuse me, it's what we were saying earlier. 616, those aren't our fucking heroes. I don't give a fuck if she goes to Earth 90210 and fucks them up. I don't give a shit. I don't care. That's not our heroes. So if she wants to fuck up the Avengers in another universe, do it. She wants to fuck up the X-Men, do it. That's not our heroes. So, like, people saying, like, Black Bolt should have got more respect. Black Bolt of 838? That's not our Black Bolt. Mr. Fantastic should have got more respect. Of 838? That's not our Mr. Fantastic. Who gives a fuck if she busted that nigga's head open? Who cares?
And then I've seen the arguments that they've been like, but that Earth's Illuminati defeated Thanos. No, that Earth's Strange defeated Thanos, and they killed him. Like, his punishment for doing that was to kill him just so he wouldn't dibble more in the Darkhold or some shit. Like, if you go back and see that, his whole fucking up to his forearms are like black.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with the Illuminati. Or anything.
People kept saying too, like, oh well, Wanda, or not Wanda, that the Illuminati, damn, I had it in my head too there, that the Illuminati is like doing what they say they're damn, I forgot what I was gonna say with Wanda.
I'm sitting here trying to help you think too.
I forgot what I was gonna say with Wanda, but like I said, it's not our heroes. I don't care what happens to them as far as Wanda decimating them and things like that. Like those are not our heroes. So I don't care if Wanda destroys them. And oh, that's what I was gonna say, because Treya said that. Treya's been like, well, not only that, do you really think she would have taken them out that easily? Yeah, I do. And the reason I do is because they were arrogant.
Yeah,
that was the whole point that they were trying to display in that scene. They were trying to show that they are so arrogant, because what did Captain Marvel say? She said, "Oh, we can handle you, little witch." Like, they weren't worried about her.
No,
even Mr. Fantastic
I was about to say,
was
Strange
not worried.
shows up telling them like the Scarlet Witch, and they're like, we know.
Yeah, they're like, we know all about it. We're not worried about that. Like,
we are more worried about you and how you're gonna handle her, because your last. My camera probably just it is frozen on here or whatever. Probably died again just because we're reaching 3 hours.
So it was just like
they're just like they weren't worried about Wanda. They were more focused on Strange, because their Earth Strange is what kind of fucked them over. So they weren't really paying attention to Wanda. They were more focused on how did this Stephen Strange get here, and we know what he does and everything. He's this, but literally they know he's the best version of Strange and everything. So. Like you said, they were 100% arrogant towards Wanda.
Yeah, they were arrogant. They were expecting to go in there. That's why when Mordo said, when they return, we will make judgment. Like, because he assumed, oh yeah, they're going to return.
Like, Black Bolt could kill you with one whisper out. Like, why would you tell it? Like, do you not, like, the second I was about to say, the second she heard that, she's thinking exactly what she said. What mouth?
Yeah,
nigga ain't got no mouth no more.
He's supposed to be the smartest man in the world. It's not that I won't even say that in that moment he wasn't the smartest man in the world. He was an arrogant, smart man in the world. He knew, he looked at his teammate and said, my teammate can literally fuck you up with just opening his mouth. Do you really want to do this? Like, that's it wasn't that he was being stupid. It was just that he was arrogant.
I was about to say, if he really wanted to, Black Bolt could have just killed her. Like with the, let's say, writing wasn't a thing and everything, but rhetorically that could have happened and everything. So it's just like that their writing wanted to display, like,
yes,
the fact
this universe,
they were, how
this universe
they really
think that they've done so much,
and what Wanda was going to do to them. They were more feared of Strange.
Right.
I'd put it in. I like Wanda and Steven much more. I could understand it being in C.
I'm gonna put it in the C because it is inappropriately named to me. Multiverse of Madness. There was no. Well, I saw the multiverse for a minute and 30 seconds in that clip. Like, literally, we were in the multiverse for a minute and 30 seconds. And as far as madness goes, no.
It wasn't that mad.
No. What are some of those comments there?
Multiverse was. Mano said multiverse was just too confusing for me. Just not a fan of Doctor Strange. I don't know how it was really confusing. In this, at least the plot in the sense, I just didn't like the fact that how they kept trying to go back between dead Strange. He's dead, now he's in his time walking his dead body, now he's going back to his real body, but his real mind is the one telling his dead body. I just didn't, that part was the only confusing shit to me. And then he said, yes, Scarlet Witch was the highlight of the movie. Cornelius said it was definitely watered down.
Definitely watered.
Stamina MC said, Multiverse of Madness was enjoyable on autopilot, but squandered an opportunity, or several. Sam Raimi's touch was appreciated by me, though Wanda could have been all those things she was, but just not in that movie. Strange didn't really help Wanda or fight her. There was being as little meaningful interaction between the two leads was weird to me on reflection. In the moment, fun. Soon as I think about it, ugh.
Yeah.
Strange gets a C for me, yeah. Can see it.
He said, I want
Mano said that. And then Raymond 2000 said, I want Franklin Richards of A38 to come to 616 and just start going crazy looking for Wanda, but they're not that deep. And that's what should happen.
Yeah.
Like, if they wanted the Inhumans in it, the Inhumans would have a problem with Wanda. The
I said
X-Men
that.
would.
I've said that. I said what should happen is, I mean, I still think that. I don't think we're done with 838. That's why they put so much emphasis and focus on 838. If you think the heroes of 838 are about to let go.
No, they want Captain Carter to
Yeah.
be something.
If
Like,
you-
they want Captain Carter
Now,
to be
they did
something.
establish
They
that
want-
obviously not the what if Captain Carter.
Yeah, no, that's not the... Well, it was... That was stupid what
Yeah.
she said, though.
What
Our Captain Carter wouldn't have gotten beaten
Oh,
up
yeah.
like that. That was...
Yeah, no, it like I said, Franklin, to say what he said about Franklin, they're not going to do that deep. And the reason, like kind of like what Stamina said, Franklin is so fucking OP.
I was about to say,
He's
just
so
like you're not
OP.
going to get these versions of. I
He
really
is
am
such a
surprised
stri-
they went that far with Wanda. If I'm being honest.
Franklin, bruh. Franklin is an Omega level mutant.
Yeah, finding it.
He has risen motherfuckers from the dead. He is an Omega level mutant. He will fuck you up.
Yeah.
So
no.
I don't know that I would love for them to bring Franklin in. Just how if they did bring him in, they would power that motherfucker down
I was
so
about
much.
to say they need to either get the MC.
They're gonna bring his
to a
sister in
point
before they
where-
bring him in. They're gonna bring Valeria in because her shit is not as strong as him. So they're gonna bring Valeria in before they bring him in. But yeah, we have two here. We're gonna try to get through these. Miss Marvel. Yeah, I to say what Cornelius just said, 838 mutants are coming. I said that. I agree with you because think about it. Professor X, the X-Men aren't letting that go. You think the Inhumans, Black Bolt being the keeper of the Terrigen Mist, you think they're letting that go? Captain
Their
Carter's
king
Avengers
just
aren't letting
died.
that
The
go.
King of the Inhumans just died.
Sue is not
Miss
letting that shit
Marvel-
go.
Miss Marvel just died.
Mr. Fantastic, like you got Sue, you got Ben.
That's why I'm so confused on why Mordo didn't die though from that universe. Like I don't know what they're wanting to do with him or anything, but I'm not gonna lie. The only I go back to what Mano said. The only confusion from Doctor Strange I get is just his whole direction. Because in like, I wanted to think that they're gonna do something with Mordo, but then they come in the end and introduce Clea and everything, and they're basically going back into the dark dimension with Dormammu and everything. So it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. Is he going to be overseeing something with Secret Wars or some shit? Because it's like he's not going to be anything with the Avengers or anything right now. It seems like.
I have no idea what they're doing with 838 Mordor or Mordor in general because he was supposed to die in the opening scene that was redone. Wanda was going to decapitate him. He was going to show up to her house. He was going to decapitate him. That was supposed to show the strength of Wanda early on. But I agree with what Stamina MC just said there when he said that Captain Carter, yeah, she gets washed, bro. What? Yeah.
Captain Carter's getting washed by.
Yeah,
Captain Carter's not. I mean, if you wanted to just consider her Captain Brit, I mean, it's just not anything close to what Wanda's power level is.
Yeah. And Raymond, to answer you there, why haven't we seen Mordo? What Stamina said, Mordo had to live in order to be witness to Wanda's. That's true too, because he's got to be the one that's got to go back and tell the. Well, you got Palmer there too, but you got those two.
I was about to say he was the.
Those two,
Sorcerer
yeah,
Supreme of
those two will be probably the ones that tell 838 people of what's going on. Like, and technically, if you really want to be real with, I'm not saying they're going to do this.
Even if he is the Sorcerer Supreme, I think he kind of might have knew. Like, this bitch Wanda's about to fuck
he
these
might
niggas
have,
up.
but he's also he's got his time stone.
That's what I was about to say.
He can rewind time if he wanted to.
But he also could have looked into the future
yes,
to
he
see
could have
Wanda
looked,
was
yeah.
Wanda's finna fuck him up. Let me go ahead and leave. Like, it's happening now.
Yeah, so there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot that's going on there. But
yeah, man, I definitely understand what you're saying on the confusion part now, because now that I look back on it there, but that's everything with Doctor Strange is so confusing because he's just this mystical level threat where it's like one of his main enemies. Now you got me mixing my shit up. Enemies is Mordo, but it's like at the same time he's a mystical level threat too. So it's like you dive into all those, and I'm ready to move on to Miss Marvel. They said. Yeah, that was the last comment on that.
Miss Marvel here. Let me get back to that. Where is she? Shit.
My
Okay.
camera's off, by the way, too. I'm not really tripping on it.
Miss Marvel here. We've got. I'd put Miss Marvel for me as far as Phase 4 goes, as far as content goes, as far as the overall connective tissue to the wider MCU. Hearing about other things going on in the MCU outside of the character show themselves. I liked Miss Marvel. I thought Miss Marvel was culturally great. I thought that they did a good job for the Pakistani culture. I thought that it was a fun show. Yeah, I liked. Wait, what are you about to
Cornelius be making me laugh.
I'm gonna put Miss Marvel for me personally. I would put it next to Moon Knight. You don't think it was next to Moon Knight?
I wanna put it up. And
Really?
just for Phase 4, I wanna put it in A. I really there's definitely its holes and gaps, but like me personally as a person, like when it comes to like what they wanted to establish putting on screen and everything, that Miss Marvel was one of the most cared about shows, projects, shows, movies in Phase 4 and everything. And also, I put it in A just because Amon Finale. I know what we're going to get
Amon
with
Finale
the
was
future.
great.
I know what we're going to get with the future of Miss Marvel as a character. So, kind of like if we would have did this before, I think before we did like our most anticipated, it was like at an F. And so like most anticipated as an F, and then they came out, put so much care into it. I mean, it definitely got its work for me. So I'm not opposed to it being in B, but I personally enjoyed it to the point where I'd have it in A.
Yeah, I liked Miss Marvel. I thought Miss Marvel was good. I mean, as far as shows go that we've gotten, Hawkeye can't touch it. I mean, there's Winter Soldier can't. I mean, it was good. I liked it. It was more family oriented, or more for families, more for, at first when I saw the previews and things, I kept saying this is not going to be for me. I don't think I'm going to like this, because it looked like something they would have released on Disney Channel. Like it was like a new Disney Channel series for like teenage girls and things like that. It didn't look like it was going to be that great, but it turned out to be pretty good. So oh yeah, and like Cornelius said, the music in Miss Marvel was fucking good. But typically with Marvel, the soundtracks are always good. Not to deviate really, but the transition of No Woman No Cry to We Gonna Be Alright by Kendrick, God, man, that shit gives me goosebumps.
Even them just recreating the No Woman No Cry song with Thames, like the Nigerian singer and everything.
Yeah.
It's just they always know what they're doing on the soundtrack and shit. But another thing I want to bring up on Miss Marvel was how they did like the on-screen animations and everything, just like of the intro, like the Miss Marvel intros and everything, and just her title to like the on-screen animations and everything. So I just think it was something different and something fun. Like it didn't, like kind of like someone brought up earlier, Moon Knight didn't really follow the MCU formula. I don't think Miss Marvel really did either. I think it was kind of a show like it's in the MCU. It's better of being in the MCU universe, but it's also like established culturally as its own thing.
It was great. I liked Miss Marvel. I thought it was as again for stuff that we've gotten from Phase 4 and stuff that we've gotten on Disney Plus. It was one of the better shows. And then lastly here, which we've given our full breakdown and review of what we all thought here of Thor: Love and Thunder. For me, where you putting this?
Yeah, let me go first, because I'm honestly gonna put this bitch on D.
I'll put it there for me personally. I would have put it at an E or an F. And the reason
I wanted to go, but I just
it's an E or an F.
I was gonna say it probably is.
It's
I
an
just
E or an
wanted
F.
to be. I didn't want to really put it with Hawkeye and What If, so E would be good.
Yeah,
like,
it's better than Hawkeye and What If.
But it's just the downfall that's so like ass on it. Like going from Ragnarok to this shit is
aggressively
so...
fucking okay. And after seeing more of the concept art that's come out of what they were gonna do with Gore and Christian Bale, and they didn't decide to do that, and they went with the look of like I hate, like, we didn't even see we didn't see Gore killing anybody besides off-screen deaths in a fucking 15-second. If you blinked, you missed it.
That
we saw him killing the terrible
so
VFX effects. It was that scene was retarded as fuck.
His origin was so
I hated
stupid.
the scene with all the gods and how Zeus was
Didn't really like eternity being a stone.
Being a fucking wishing stone. I didn't like that.
I was gonna say the Zeus shit. Didn't like
It should have been more
Korg
like
basically
again.
dying, and
As I've said in our breakdown, I didn't have a problem with the humor in that God scene. Because Zeus definitely would have been talking about orgies and things like that. That's definitely a Zeus thing. But the tone of Gore the God Butcher should have been there. That should have been taken more seriously. Like, the gods should have been like, okay, yes, we can talk about the orgy, ha ha ha,
like
fling.
Zeus
But now
Thor
let's
in
talk
his ear,
about,
like, yes, we're
like,
all
yeah,
scared.
like I'm
has
scared.
The
He has a
sword that
sword.
could kill the gods.
Like, bro, like that needs to. That should have been. We should have seen the gods like rallying together.
Like,
Like,
oh,
maybe
shit,
not
like-
seeing all the gods go to fight him, but we should have seen them rallying together. Like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna
we
handle
all know
this?
there's this god, or there's this man.
Should have been a
God
serious
butchering-
tone.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
There should have been more serious tones instead of just like seeing him. Oh, you flick too hard, damn it! Like all like that. That was cool. It was funny. It was funny. I get that. But again, Taika Waititi was so much more interested in making you laugh than furthering the mythology of the MCU or giving you some serious tones under
the story of Thor.
Oh yes,
I think
of
he was
Thor,
more
because
so.
Thor, bruh, this was a compilation of side stories of Thor to me. This was a compilation of side stories. This was a compilation
Korg
of like
narrating the
short
shit,
stories
like, it
that we're
kinda-
about to get with Groot.
I was about to say, it kind of felt like little short stories whenever we're getting Korg narrating, like, the Mighty Thor starts off as this, and then, like, we're just getting these little stories.
It
of
just
what
wasn't.
he's,
It
like,
wasn't like him writing Stormbreaker when Star-Lord says, he's like, I'm just waiting for someone to tell me that they need my help to save the world. Thor, we need your help to save the world. And then he's like, okay. Then he gets on Stormbreaker and rides it like a fucking witch.
yeah.
Like, that shit it's corny to me. It's stupid. Like when you look at Thor from Infinity War, like some people said, well, when's Thor really ever been serious outside of Thor: The Dark World? Excuse me? Thor was serious as fuck in Infinity War. What? He had funny moments in Infinity War, and that's cool. You can have those funny moments. But you can't tell me when he landed in Wakanda that you didn't instantly know he's about to fuck shit up in
for
Wakanda.
the most part, serious fucking Endgame too. Outside of, like, whenever he has that little Fortnite scene or whatever in Asgard, but his opening in Endgame when he comes in,
But that's
actually
expected.
cuts Thanos' head off
yeah,
and shit.
that,
and then
yeah.
like after that, whenever he gets like both hammers and everything, like after that he comes back to fight Thanos, and then he's more serious in that tone too. After everything gets flooded or like his ship crashes out at the Avengers headquarters or whatever.
And I'm not gonna say that he was a bumbling idiot in Love and Thunder, because he wasn't. Like even in the Shadow Realm, he's like, oh, I know where that is. Like, Thor's intelligent. Thor's not stupid. I'm not saying he was stupid in this. I just thought that they wanted to make him so fucking funny that it just took you away from the movie. It took you away from the seriousness, bro. We're dealing with Gore the God Butcher. This is a being that's killing gods. Like he saw one of his friends, one of his god friends die. Like, this is a being that's going around killing gods. You cannot tell me that you're looking at this and saying like, oh well. Even like I said, even the scene with Jane in the hospital when the doctor told him, you know, I'm sorry, Thor, she has cancer, and it's getting more aggressive than what you do.
And he like punches.
I like that. I was like, but then he came in there, and I get like not wanting to cause alarm to Jane, because like, why would you want to go in there and like having someone that has cancer? Why would you want to bring them down more? I get him coming in there and being funny, but at the moment, it was still should have been you're a god, and you being a god, you realize I'm a god, and there's nothing I can do with my godly powers to save the woman I love. So let me go in here and make jokes with her. Like, I just didn't, again, I mean, I could go on and on. It's in our breakdown. It's in our breakdown. If you want to watch our breakdown of what we all thought of Thor: Love and Thunder, you can go watch that. I have said several things about Thor: Love and Thunder. It was, yeah, I will not watch it again. I've seen it twice, and that twice is enough for me. I won't watch it again. So, but yeah, let's knock out those last comments, and then we are going to head out for the evening.
Stamina said Thor 4 equals E, and then Mano said Thor is a D for me too. I'm so tired of Thor. Raymond 2000 said I'd rather watch a double feature of Catwoman and Birds of Prey than Thor 4. The only good part of Thor was the damn goats.
I like the goats
CGI
too.
looked like something was from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and
Yeah.
Thor was a nerfed ass Ultron and Hulk.
Yeah.
That movie is the Suicide Squad 2016 of the MCU. Taika, go home. Please, give someone else Thor. I can't take stupid, immature Thor anymore.
Yep.
I'd rather take the comic version of the storyline word for word, panel for panel, because this is what not to do when adapting a story for film. And then Stamina said, writers removing autonomy has been a bugbear of Phase 4 for me. Black Widows, Mind Control, Wenwu, Dweller in Darkness, Eternals, I don't know how to pronounce that. Not gonna go for it.
Who?
Wanda, Darkhold, Gore, Necrosword. Let people be people.
Yeah.
Too many people not responsible for their own actions.
Yeah, I agree.
The cool Cooper said, "Shout me out." Shout out you. We appreciate you being here, commenting, viewing. Raymond
What's up,
Stone
cool
said,
Coopers?
the Russo brothers write Thor and T'Challa better than Taika and Ryan did. No, like literally, Thor was the best written.
Yeah, that was the
Infinity
best
War
written he
Endgame.
was in Infinity War. I
What
thought
costume.
I even thought he was really
mentality,
good. I thought he was
dialogue.
really well written in Ragnarok too, though. I just think that again, Taika, they gave him just too much room, too much freedom to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. But then again, when you have Taika making comments like, "Ooh, what can I put in the movie that's gonna make the fandom mad?" Like when you have people like, and again, it might be funny to him, but for those of us that are look, we love these characters, we love this stuff, and you're taking movies that we're paying to fucking see
to make jokes.
Yeah, to make jokes. Yeah. Like it's just like so no, I agree. Please leave Thor on the table until Secret Wars. Yeah, leave him on the table. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with Thor or in the further future of the MCU or anything like that. But
finna fight Hercules.
Thor 4 was not it. Thor 4 was not it. And I remember I said at one point when they announced that this is gonna be top tier MCU, I said that and I stuck by that. I was excited for it up until the trailers. When the trailers dropped and I saw how the trailers were, I was like, "This is giving an indication."
We watched our last trailer.
Of what it's
I
gonna
said
be.
bait and switch. I
Yeah.
knew it. We watched that last trailer. I said that, but no, I know we're about to close things up and shit. We've been on here for 3 hours, which is crazy. So if you're still here,
we appreciate you guys.
We appreciate y'all sticking it out with us. And one thing I wanted to say, if y'all have any comments y'all wanted to leave for things y'all might want us to look into next week or next time we
please
get in here
do
or
so.
something, anything that.
If
any topics, just
Yeah.
anything that y'all think's going on that y'all want us to talk about, because we're
You
kind
can
of trying
always message us on Twitter. You can message us on Instagram. We'll even put a
Anything.
Discord link because we do have a Discord. You want to message us on Discord or whatever, you can message those topics. Like, hey, because we had somebody comment on a video from 4 months ago about Planet of the Apes that we did. And they're like, hey, if you guys heard anything new about Planet of the Apes. And we actually had heard some new things about Planet of the Apes. So if you ever have any questions about anything or topics that you want to hear our specific opinions about, send us those questions, send us those topics, and we will fit that in because we want to obviously do what our viewers are wanting to see.
Marvel,
yeah, it does not have to be Marvel. It doesn't have to be.
We're watching everything.
We do
like
all
Netflix,
things Marvel, or
streaming
I'm sorry,
services,
all things
like,
TV, movies, TV, streaming, hot topics, and more. It is all things like hot topics. Doesn't matter. It could be something like did you see how Netflix is charging? This is a while ago, but how Netflix is now charging more for their streaming services and how they're going to add ads. Like, we will talk about that stuff. We talk about those things anyway. So we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys being here. This has been one of the more fun lives that we've done. And again, we are going to be live every Sunday. Yes, the engagement
gets better week to week, and
week
we
to week.
appreciate it for real. Especially the ones who come back week to week and engage and everything and give us new things to talk about and even like new opinions to even see a perspective of. So, and another, like, we're not always going to agree with everything. We're not going to hate on you for your opinion or anything. So y'all are free to have y'all's own opinion. Don't comment to be yes men to us. We want people with different opinions because that's what ultimately makes everything better. But Stamina said, where's the Discord link at? We'll get that. If you follow us on Instagram or Twitter, we'll try to get that to you some way, shape, or form. Because I don't think we actually have the Discord link up right now. But all the other ones are up.
No, we don't have it. Well, I'll send this, but it's not up. But I will put this in
I was gonna say, if you want to paste it in the comments or something.
Yeah, I'll put this in here for you.
I'm getting hot as shit in here.
Yeah. So, like I said, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate all you guys showing up every week. And we're going to be back every Sunday. We'll be back next Sunday with more news from the week. And if there's ever anything that comes out during the week, we will touch on that. When Wednesdays, or I think She-Hulk's been moved to Thursday. So on Thursdays, we'll be with you guys to react to the first Thursday. So we'll be here to react with you guys to She-Hulk. So again, appreciate you guys. Love you guys so much. All of our fellow fanatics, we love you guys for being here with us, and we hope to see you guys next week. Again, if there's questions or anything like that, we want you guys to send those in, and we will see you guys in the next video. Oh shit, I said that and I'm like sitting here and I didn't even stop the stream.